Oh, my bad. I was dancing to the fucking. I heard the music. I was like, oh shit. Hold on. Can you hear me on here?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, all right. Yeah, as the shit was
Look
loading up, I started drinking my coffee. I was. What happened?
Look at you! Look at you go with those headphones and the microphone.
Listen. Let me, for the record, let me not fraud about this. This earphone does not fucking work. This shit goes in and out, and like I'm like 6 years old. I gotta like tie it up a certain way just to get. So it'll probably start working at some point, but it's a fucking mess, man.
And you got to adjust it, and you got to move the cord, and then when it works, it's like yes, and you can't move for like 5 minutes because you listen to the song.
I've run through like 3 pairs of headphones in the last couple months, bro. Like I had a decent pair that I always use, Old Faithful. They just stopped working. Like I took them shits apart, like, and was on some, Inspector Gadget shit trying to fix them. They didn't work. I'm like, all right, let me go old school with a cord and a little, like a little mic jaw. This is acting weird. I got a pair of Bluetooth headphones hanging on the tripod that just work whenever they want to. It's just bad. It's all bad. But it is to the point where when my headphones break, I'll still wear them in public just so people don't talk to me. And they talk to me anyway. Like they just talk louder.
You want to avoid people talking to you? Just talk to yourself. They cross the street.
Or I'm gonna just start acting like I'm deaf. Yeah, I'm gonna just start acting like I'm deaf. Be like, and lucky for me, they'll probably know sign language too, and they'll talk to me any fucking way. It's not a good time out here in the world, man.
No,
it's not. Yo, I'm watching this, or I was watching this. Did you see the Tremors documentary?
No, I didn't.
It's called Making Perfection. They got Kevin Bacon on this shit. They got couple of the cast members. I'm trying to see, like, I'm skimming through it to see if Reba McEntire is on this shit too. But I'm surprised. I love how Kevin Bacon. You know how you get these big stars that started in horror movies, and they're just so ashamed of it after the fact. Kevin Bacon is not ashamed to talk about the Tremors franchise at all. Like, I love that shit about him.
For whatever reason, Friday the 13th, man, he will not talk about. He will not talk about that at all. He doesn't go to the reunions. He doesn't do the documentaries. He doesn't talk about Jason. He'll acknowledge that he was in one of those movies, but he'll I want to talk about Footloose instead.
For real?
You don't want to talk about that arrow going through your fucking neck. That's what I want to talk about. Fucking asshole.
That's weird, man. Maybe he had like a fallout with Sean Cunningham or some shit like that. Like, maybe he got involved in that 20-year pissing contest between Sean Cunningham and Victor Miller, and Kevin Bacon was probably just trying to be the mediator, and maybe they jumped him, and he was like, "Fuck it, I'm not talking about this movie ever again." And they probably just whooped his ass in the midst of the legal battle. I don't know what's going on with that shit. Speaking of which, man, every time they update us with some news, it's about the TV series, that Crystal Lake TV series.
Mm-hmm.
People need a movie. They need a movie.
Technically, Victor Miller owns everything from the first movie. Pam Voorhees, Kid Jason, all that.
Okay.
Sean Cunningham owns Jason Voorhees.
Like
the adult, the hockey mask.
The adult Jason Voorhees.
Yeah. So they technically have to split it down the middle like a divorced couple.
I know it's a lot deeper than let bygones be bygones, but goddamn, man, like, y'all made history together. Like, y'all can't come to an agreement, and for the sake of the fans and for the sake of, I don't know, sleeping peacefully at night, like, y'all can't come to a decision. That's ridiculous, man. Like, I just hope that, like, the TV show, if the TV show's bad, that's fine. Like, I am kind of looking forward to it, but if a reboot, sequel, whatever, if they fuck that up, then there's going to be trouble. There's going to be lots and lots and lots of trouble.
Yeah,
but there is room for what?
I'm gonna have to watch the documentary. This looks kind of cool.
Making Perfection.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good, bro. It's really decent. I bookmarked it. I saved it to my my documentaries playlist on YouTube. Like this shit's pretty decent.
They also have a featurette of Tremors 2, which is awesome.
Listen. I like Tremors too, man. If it's
Tremors
one
2
thing I
is
don't,
fucking fun.
if it's one thing I don't like about Tremors 2, is the fact that like Grady, he was a little bit annoying as a new sidekick for Earl.
Yeah.
Was it Earl? Or was it Val? I think Val was Kevin Bacon's character. Earl was Fred Ward's character. Yeah, I mean Tremors 2 is cool. I like the shriekers, but them little chicken legs that they had used to get on my fucking nerves. Like those legs just look like they were ready to snap at any given moment. Tremors 2 is decent though. The whole series, like with the exception of part 4, the whole series is decent. It's the fucking Fast and Furious franchise of creature features. They just get wilder.
TV show.
Yeah. It used to come on, I think it used to come on Sci-Fi Channel, and I think Michael Gross was in that shit too. I don't remember
Kevin Bacon
really much of it at all. Oh, the canceled TV series?
Yeah.
They made a pilot. They made a pilot. They filmed a pilot episode for a Tremors series with Kevin Bacon. The trailer looks decent. Like it looks like even for a TV series for Tremors, it looks like they put some money behind it, and they canceled it. Like they fucking canceled it. It's like why would yeah, and the trailer looks good, man.
Oh yeah, everyone in the comments right here saying, "What the fuck? Why'd you cancel this? This looks good."
The trailer looks good. It's a shot of one of the graboids in somebody's face towards the end of the trailer, and it looks decent. I don't know why they canceled that show. It would have been better than the old school one with Michael Gross. And Kevin Bacon, he looks like the same character. He's just older, same outfit, all that shit. I don't know why they did it. They did have some tie-ins to his character. I think in Tremors 6, his daughter was hunting graboids with Bert.
So it was deemed too expensive to film.
Cheap motherfuckers. I guess. This is why I was making a list of what directors I wanted to remake certain horror movies, and I didn't put Tremors on the list, but I should, because Tremors needs a big budget reboot. Like it needs that. You don't think so?
No.
You don't want them to you don't want Hollywood to bastardize it?
Hell no, man, because they will. Well, the reason the Tremors, like the first Tremors movie, have such longevity is because they have like they're practical. Like the monsters are practical for the most part. You know what I mean? Up to the exception, even in 2, where there's a couple of CGI little monsters, several of those monsters are actual practical when they blow them up. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I think the only time, I don't think they used any CG Tremors in the first one. And I think the only time they've really used them in the second one is when the Shriekers got to run around really fast, or when they like pile on top of each other in that one scene. But other than that, all that shit's practical. Even in part 3, the ass blasters, the CG looks fucking terrible. But for the most part, a lot of the ass blaster moments are practical effects. Damn, now I'm ready to do a Tremors binge, all 7 movies, I think. Yeah, it's 7 of them, because I think the last one had Napoleon Dynamite in there. I don't know I don't know who. You didn't see Tremors 7? Shrieker
no,
Island? Shrieker Island?
I stopped watching after 3. After 3, I was like, I'm done. Okay,
so Tremors 4 is a prequel. Burt Gummer's descendant in the Old West is still Perfection, Nevada, but the weapons are Burt Gummer, like his descendant, is still that guy. He's still the guy with the big ass cannons and all types of guns and shit. It's not all that good, but it is a decent prequel idea. 5 has African ass blasters. It takes place in Africa. The creature effects look decent. The movie's all right. Part 6, I think that's A Cold Day in Hell, where they're in like the Arctic and the Tremors are under the ice and in the water and shit, and they could jump out and shit and dive back in. This shit's crazy. Part 5 is when they introduce Jamie Kennedy. He comes back in part 6, and then he's just gone in part 7. Napoleon Dynamite is Burt Gummer's sidekick in that shit. I didn't understand. But Richard Brack is in Tremors 7, and he plays like this real arrogant Shrieker hunter. It's basically Jurassic Park. They go on Shrieker Island, and there's a scene where the Shriekers are just running through, just snatching people up, just eating them. But it's a cool idea, but Napoleon Dynamite, I don't know who fucking casted him in that joint.
Try to capitalize off Napoleon Dynamite. That's what it is.
Yeah,
so we can't get funding. Let's hire Andy Hayter, and we'll get some funding.
He did not fit at all in that movie.
Yeah, Tremors 7, man. I stopped watching after 3. After that, I was like, you can't really continue. Because 2 was solid. I like Tremors 2 Aftershock. Tremors 2 Aftershock was actually kind of fun. 3, I was like, really? Because 3 was released like in a short time. I remember going back to the video store like 6 months later or something like that, and then like seeing Tremors 3. I was like, wait, Tremors 2 just came out. Like, what the fuck is that?
Yep, I remember.
And then you watch it,
I remember.
Like, oh, that's why it took them 6 months to.
I remember that shit because I thought it was going to be the best thing ever. I was like, oh shit, they went back to Perfection, Nevada. They brought Miguel back. Walter Chang had a wife. They brought Mindy and her mom back, the girl that was on the pogo stick. They brought all these characters back, and I was like, it's okay. Like it's for nostalgia and humor's sake, it's okay, but I don't think it's better than part 2. I don't think it's better, even with the people they brought back. It's not better than part 2.
I think part 2 is better than the first one, to tell you the truth.
God damn, we're starting hot takes already. We haven't even gotten to the main event yet. We got hot takes.
I think
that's
Aftershock is a little bit better than Tremors, dude. I think Tremors takes too long to get going, but 2 it's just boom right in your face.
This
awesome.
This another idea for episode. Our horror sequel hot takes, which is better than the original. Because if we go on horror sequel hot takes, I'm gonna say this now, people, and y'all can sue me right now or after the fact. Johnny thinks Tremors 2 is better than Tremors 1. While I don't share that same sentiment, I will say, as far as if we're talking creature features, and I might get a lot of shit for this, I think Pumpkinhead 2 is better than Pumpkinhead 1.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, so you with me on that?
Yeah,
okay, yeah. Okay,
we talked about that. I think we talked about that like in one of our earlier episodes that we both loved that movie. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Like Pumpkinhead 2 is just, it's a love letter from Jeff Burr, man.
It was the survival monsters, because that was on your list.
Right. Movie monsters we may or may not survive. That's right. Damn, I forgot about that shit. Oh yeah, well, Pumpkinhead 2 is definitely. Listen, I have always stood on that, man. It's just something cheesy B monster movie about it that I like better than I like the way they set up the tale in the first one, but the second one just like you got everybody and their mom in that movie as far as horror goes, man. Everybody's in that shit. And Linnea quickly showed her titties in that movie.
She shows her titties in all those, in every movie.
I don't even know why I said that like it was something new. She gets naked in everything. Yeah. Linnea Quigley, we would love to have you on our show.
Yeah, it's like a quota. Dark Daddy 831 says, "Living Legends, almost famous, very hip hop." That is a reference to a classic hip hop album. Is it? Yeah, that is considered by many in the Bay Area and mostly in California that album is a hip hop classic. That is one of the staples of California hip hop.
My list, man, it's gonna be, people are gonna be like, you don't have such and such on this list, and you don't have such and such on this list, and I'm telling you, man, like I legit did this list one time, and I looked at it and I'm like, yeah, but I got a shit ton of honorable mentions for when we're done. I got a bunch of. It's gonna be rough.
Do this list like 4 times. had to redo it 4 times because my first list, I was like, wait, and then on my honorable mentions, like, wait, I should have put those on there, and then I went back and put them on, and then I came back, it's like, wait, that doesn't work. I need to put more albums on here, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I want to put this one on here, and then like, god damn it, that doesn't work. So
Yeah, it was getting
just
dark.
finished it last night. I just finished it last night. This is the list I'm gonna go with, and I'm confident in it. Living Legends is reuniting in December at the Catalyst. Nice. You ever heard of hieroglyphics, Living Legends, Romero?
Not that I can remember. No, I don't think so. Should I look them up? Am I like fucking up by not?
Marshall Ali used to rap for hieroglyphics.
What?
Yeah.
Blade?
Yeah. Yeah, he was a member of hieroglyphics.
What?
Dude,
was he good?
He got bars. Yeah, he got bars. You can't be in Hyro and not have bars. Let me just tell you that right now.
What in the shit?
Did that just blow your mind?
Yeah, because I'm like,
I think he was under the name Prince something. How the Grouch Stole Christmas. You know, I never listened to the Grouch, Caesar. I never listened to the Grouch. That is someone that I definitely have to listen to. Another one that I rarely listen to was Atmosphere.
Hold up, man, because this is just like it's a little.
Is it a little too much or what? Just too much?
No, I don't know why the fuck I thought Idris Elba was like the only like actor that dabbled in music. him and fucking Mark Wahlberg. I don't know why I thought they were the only people that have ever dabbled in music and that have been in the acting world too. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, dude.
Well, shit, Mahershala Ali should just get back to music because, like, he ain't doing shit else. Like, he waiting on Kevin Feige to greenlight this fucking Blade movie. He might as well just drop an album or something like that. Like, just make use of the time. Like,
show out that reunion show in December.
yeah, do something. And then as soon as Kevin Feige sees that, he's gonna be like, look, all right, like, don't get back into music. Don't get back into music. We're gonna greenlight Blade tomorrow. We got you. Like,
with a new script. With a new script.
Oh my God, that's the only updates we ever hear. It's like, good news, everybody. Blade is back in the works with a brand new writer for a brand new script. It's like, what the fuck? Rolling Blunts, Living Legends was always on. You know, I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, but Newports were definitely the way to go. They were definitely the way to go.
Smoking Newport, rolling blunts, Living Legends was always, yeah. Living Legends, they did a song called Flawless I think you would really like. There's enough New York influence on that sound, on that production, but the fucking lyrics are just West Coast, man. It's fucking awesome.
And hold up. Is this the group Mahershala Ali was in? Or were we talking about something else? I'm
Hieroglyphics was the group that he was in. Hieroglyphics.
Okay.
Riding around in Acuras and Hondas. On our way to the Phil's Fish Market. Right, Caesar? Listen to nothing less.
Prince Ali. This motherfucker damn sure was doing music. What the fuck is he doing on YouTube in a fucking video? Oh my God, man. Oh. You know what? I can't say nothing. I can't say nothing because there's so many people who know me as the movie boy, like the podcaster, but they would go back and be like, this dude used to fucking rap? Like, what the hell were you doing?
I'm telling you,
through
man.
a fucking identity crisis?
I'm telling you, dude. Like, hieroglyphics is definitely worth digging the crates into. Like, definitely worth digging into the crates. Definitely.
I just marked it down. I saved it to one of these playlists so I can listen to it. I had no clue this dude used to do music. I think that's decent though. I think that's decent, man. Wear different hats, people. If you want to rap, actually, nah, stay away from rap. Don't rap. If you want to rap, it's like me and Johnny said last time. If you want to rap, just second guess it and just do podcasts instead.
Mm-hmm.
Just do music-based podcasts. Maybe drop a couple bars at the end of it. Like, y'all remember how the late great Jerry Springer used to do his final thought? Just drop like 8, 16 bars or something like that, and just close your episode out. So when people ask you, well, when are you gonna drop music? No, I'm not. That's I just gave y'all the blueprint.
I became an honorary Filipino junior year. Fucking Caesar. Oh my god. Because that's all you hung out with was Filipinos listening to Living Legends.
An honorary Filipino. Oh, what? Oh, also, I had to bring this up because I saw your review for it, but I did see the last voyage of the Demeter.
Yeah.
And I gotta do my I'm gonna do my commentary for it tomorrow. But I fucking loved it, man.
Yeah,
I thought like it is definitely like everybody that compares it to like it says Alien on the book. It's Alien. It is. And I do see your criticisms when you say that they showed Dracula too early and a little too much. But one of the things I love about this director, he prides himself on not making his creatures jump scare every 5 seconds. Like, he's going to show them creeping around, coming to get you, like coming towards you. I love that he does that shit because he did the same thing with his creatures and scary stories to tell in the dark. He's going to keep that shit in frame for a little bit so you get just enough, just enough to creep you out. And the crazy thing is, like, the cast members are like they're not really all that great. Like, it's outside of like Corey Hawkins, David Dalsmasian, the guy that was the main captain. He's good. The girl is good. Everybody else was like whatever, but everybody's like taking it seriously. For the most part, there really wasn't a bad performance in the movie because they were taking it seriously as a period piece. But Dracula, like, it's probably one of my favorite Dracula movies because he's not, ain't no suit and tie and Mr. Steal Your Girl. He's not going to kill that bitch. Yeah, he's not. There was a scene where I didn't think he was going to talk. And there's a scene where he was choking Corey Hawkins' character, like, in the air, and he's like, I don't fear you, and he said, you will? I was like, fuck. I was like, oh shit, it's about to be a rat. And the black guy lived. I had, that was the icing on the cake, but I was a little confused because I'm like, wait, are they race swapping this? Is he Van Helsing? But then they said that he was still the character. Like, I thought that they were going to pull the rug from up under everybody. And I thought that at the end he was going to be like writing in his journal and be like, I have now changed my name to Van Helsing, and then the movie was going to go off. I was about to be like, don't fucking do that. Like, please don't do that. But they didn't. They kept him as the character Clemens, which was decent. But it was good, man. I liked it a lot.
Which you'll probably run into Van Helsing. I mean, we probably won't see the sequel, but we'll probably run into Van Helsing in London. But yeah,
it's so unfortunate that we won't see.
Yeah, I thought it was an awesome
sequel,
movie,
man.
That was an awesome movie.
And everybody, what'd you say?
I thought it was an awesome movie. Like, I really don't understand the criticism people have for it. And I'm like, well, they're following Captain Notes, so that's why it's copy and paste every night. Duh. You know what I mean? So it's like yeah, it happens every night. So does it get a little repetitive, a little redundant? Yeah, but the point is to see this crew doomed, and it, and they're helpless to stop it. Like, that's the point.
That's one of the things that kept me going, is the fact that you know how this story is going to end, but I still want to see them try to pull this shit off because they had plans. You know, they had plans, and they're, you know, it's you know, Corey Hawkins talking over the montage sequence where he's like, well, first this is what we're going to do, and then we're going to do this, and you see them prepping for it, and you know in your mind this shit ain't going to make a difference because it's going to be the same outcome for everybody, but it's still decent seeing them like try to fight him. But it was a wrap after a while because when he started like swooping down and like he swooped down and I don't know if he slit the dude's throat or tore his face off or some
Nah,
shit.
he ripped his Adam's apple out. That's what he did.
Yeah, he swooped past. Like once them wings came into play, it's over for y'all. Like the way he was graceful with that shit too, because when the guy tried to get away on the on the fucking lifeboat and he just swooped down like all cool and shit, I was like, oh yeah, it's over. And then pushed the boat back to the Demeter. He's like, here, take this shit back. Like Dracula was petty as fuck.
No one leaves. No one's leaving.
Yeah, he was petty as fuck. He was killing women, children, animals, all that shit. Everybody, everybody. You know what was really fucked up was, you know, the little boy is gonna die, but when he killed a little boy, when they're about to throw his body overboard, and what was that? His dad? Was that his dad or his grandfather? And he's like, yeah, and he's like, he moved, and I'm like, oh, he didn't move, but he opened his eyes, and then he caught fire, and then the grandfather caught fire. I was like, it's like, oh my god,
that to me was like one of the most, like, you know, that was like a heartbreaking scene, but also like another scene that was like kind of tough to watch because like, holy shit, man, and like you're so helpless to like not like, you see this kid just being burned up, and then he's burning his grandfather up. I was like, oh shit. And they're like, you know what, fuck this. Just throw the kid over.
Yeah, throw that son of a bitch over. Like it was a no-brainer, man. I feel, and it's so fucked up that just because this movie didn't do good at the box office, we know we're probably not going to get a fucking sequel unless that shit goes straight to streaming or whatever. I'm cool with that. I don't need to see it in the theater if they do a sequel. But this is another one of those movies where this could have jumped off something. This could have jumped off a dark universe all on its own. Like they did the same thing with Dracula Untold. Dracula Untold was so good, and even though it was PG-13, but it was so decent, I was like, this should be the template for the new dark universe. They did the same shit when they came out with Victor Frankenstein. That could have been a part of it too. But I don't think they'll ever get the dark universe together. I know Del Toro's trying to get his together. We'll see what happens with that shit, but I don't know. I don't see what the fuck is the problem.
So far, they're kind of 0-2 with Renfield and the Demeter. So Renfield was actually a bomb. Like that didn't do very well either. So, and that was released early in the year. Like, holy shit.
I know, man. I liked Renfield. I didn't think I was gonna like it at all, and I saw the trailer and I was like, okay, this is reminding me of like Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters, Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, where they take these already existing properties and they add like the CG blood and the fight choreography and the special effects and shit, and it kind of pulls it off. Like Renfield was wild. It was a lot wilder than I thought it was going to be. Speaking of which, I got to actually finish Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. I haven't even, I think I got like maybe up until the first 40 minutes of the movie and never made it through the rest of it. That face you made is letting me know. Like,
you're a better man than me, dude, because I would not waste my time watching that shit.
You didn't watch it? I wanted to give it a chance because, like I said, I was on a binge at the time. I was watching Hansel and Gretel and fucking Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. I was like, I'm a zombie dude. Like I could deal with this. It's just the dialogue. Like the dialogue is just like, all right, man. It's hard to get through.
You know what's interesting? I was watching. I was on TikTok. I think yesterday. I was on TikTok yesterday. Someone had posted, "This is one of the best opening scenes to a movie ever. The only problem is the dialogue." And I'm like, what is it talking about? And then they show like the first 10 minutes of Romeo and Juliet, and they're talking in old Kingsman, and I'm like, yeah. Yeah, and I remember reading through the comments, and they're like, "These motherfuckers bait and switched us because you watch the trailer. There is no dialogue in there because the trailer made
You
it look
talking about the
cool."
one with Claire Danes and
And Leonardo, yeah,
Leonardo DiCaprio? I
yeah.
I remember that movie, and I wanted to go back and watch it probably like a couple months ago, and then I stopped and I was like, I'm not prepared for this at all because that's going to be a task to get through. The movie, like the direction's fine, the way the movie looks is fine. It's just
It's hard. It looks
yeah,
amazing, bro. It looks amazing.
yeah. And nobody was really doing that type of shit at the time. I remember that movie was a pretty big deal when it came out. I don't remember how it did at the box office, but everybody was going did it really?
Yeah, bomb. Because of the dialogue. People fucking hated the dialogue. They hated that. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, that's some bullshit. I remember watching it at home because we rented it and thinking, oh, let's watch it. Because that opening sequence, dude, is fucking fire. I love that opening sequence. That opening scene is so good. But then when they open their mouth and start talking to me, do you bite your thumb at me? Do you bite your thumb at me, sir? Do you bite your thumb at me? Yes, I do. I bite my thumb at you.
She said, do your They really, yo, hold up though. This cast is stacked.
Yeah.
Paul Sorvino, Paul Rudd, Brian Dennehy, Vondi Curtis Hall, and Jesse Bradford from fucking Swim Fan is in this. Emmett Walsh is in here. God damn.
Jamie Kennedy, motherfucking John Leguizamo.
Jamie Kennedy's in this shit?
Yeah, he plays the cousin. He plays one of the stupid cousins.
I remember Harold Perrineau dying in this. I remember he got like cut or something, and he's like, "It's a scratch. It's only a scratch," and he ends up dying. Like I think he bleeds out or some shit. Yeah, this is. I mean, it was on my list because I was going through like I guess I was going through a phase like for like 2 days straight where I was marking down period pieces. Yeah, Harold
Perrineau is Marcelo. Oh, he looks so different because he has that fucking big ass fro. I didn't even recognize him. Holy shit.
He's been around for a long time, man. This motherfucker was in King of New York. He was one of the 3 dudes on the train that tried to walk up to Christopher Walken and rob him and his girl. And Christopher Walken throws him the wad of money and was like, "Come to the Plaza Hotel. I got work for you." Harold Perrineau's been around for a while, yo, and he's still going strong. Now,
he's got his own show.
What I won't, won't forgive him for, you talking about From?
Yes.
I've only seen one episode. I heard it's really good though.
No, he's the lead in it, and it's been on my watch list, but I don't have MGM no more. So.
The first episode was good though. Not gonna hold you. The first episode was good. They set up some really crazy shit with these creatures, whatever it is. But I like that dude, but I will never, ever, and I'm not trying to burn a bridge. Hopefully we can get him on the show one day. I will never forgive him for being in 30 Days a Night too. Yes. He was in 30 Days a Night too. He is in that piece of shit. That movie.
What do we say? What do we always say? It's time to pay the phone bill.
Yeah, he got that text message alert and was like, "Please pay $150 by." He got that alert in his phone and he called that director back up and was like, "All right, I'll do it." Damn.
Oh,
yeah, 30 Days a Night 2 is terrible. What? 30 Days a Night 2?
Yeah.
It is awful. They didn't even have the fucking decency enough to get Melissa George to come back. They recast her. They recreate the ending where she was holding Josh Hartnett and he burns up in the sunlight and shit. But they recast her. And they're like hunting. They're hunting vampires. Yeah, they're not even in Barrow, Alaska in the sequel. Like they're hunting vampires in this underground tunnel at some point. Like it's fucking stupid. It is bad.
Wow.
It is one of the it almost makes
what?
It almost is so bad it almost makes Dracula 3000 entertaining. Yeah. Yeah, it's that bad. And Dracula 3000, like rest in peace, Coolio and Tiny Zeus, they're in there, and so is Casper Van Dien. You know when Casper Van Dien's in a horror movie, it's gonna be bad. I'm sorry. I'll burn that fucking bridge. That motherfucker, like he ain't been shit
Not
since
Johnny
Starship Troopers.
Zuko. Come
Yeah,
on, man.
listen, that's all I. That's it. That's it. Starship Troopers. That's as far as I go with Casper Van Dien.
Oh, motherfucking
Mm-mm.
Johnny Rico, bro. You gonna do Rico dirty like that? The fuck?
I like him in Starship Troopers. He came back for Starship Troopers 3. He came back as Johnny Rico. I think he voiced Johnny Rico in one of the animated movies. But Casper Van Dien, like when Casper Van Dien is the lead in your horror movie, you down pretty bad. Like you down bad, man. Mm-mm, he's in this new movie. I think it's a movie he's in with crocodiles or some shit that flood. They're inside of a flooded prison or some shit like that. I think it's called Flood. I think it's called Flood. Hold on, let me, because I don't want to spread any misinformation on here, people,
Alternative
and have everybody
facts,
fucking.
bro. That's all it is. It's alternative facts. He was in a movie, but yeah, The Flood.
Yeah,
It isn't out yet. It's not out yet. According to
yeah. I watched the trailer
yeah.
for it, and I watched the trailer. It looks like shit. Looks like shit. It's basically cops and robbers and fucking alligators. Like, oh, we gotta stick together and put our differences aside to stop these alligators. It's like, fuck y'all with this bullshit, man. Like, Crawl, that's it. I think Crawl is literally going to be the last crocodile movie that
was so
we
good.
get that's decent. Crawl was fire.
So good.
Crawl
was so
was
good.
flames. I jumped a couple times. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I
Yeah,
jumped
me
a
too.
couple times. That shit, because it was like, it was part disaster movie. It was like a, man versus beast. It was it was a survival movie. Because I was scared for that girl and her dad. The way that house is flooding and the dad's stuck in the basement, I was scared as shit for them. Like, it was good.
When she was stuck in the shower, bro, that shit had me fucking like on edge. Like, oh my god, how the fuck are you gonna do this? How are you gonna do this? I remember just like, holy shit, what are you gonna do? That fucking thing's gonna burst through that thing, and then she got out of it. So I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. But like, there's just that moment, One thing about that movie that it never plays it safe. It always makes me feel like the lead could die at any time. That's why I really do appreciate when movies like put their leads in such dangerous situations where it makes you think as the audience member, like, oh shit, are they really gonna do it? That's like a hallmark of a good filmmaker right there. You know what I mean? That's good filmmaking right there.
Yeah, because anything else, you got a superhero on your hands. You got somebody who can't be damaged. They can't be put in a situation where somebody's gonna be scared for them. That's why, like Deep Blue Sea, they killed the shit out of Saffron Burrows. Like, you thought Saffron Burrows and Thomas Jane were going to like be a thing by the end of the movie. They fucking killed her ass right at the end when you thought she was going to get away. Didn't even just kill her. They bit her ass in two pieces.
I'm going to have to
Deep Blue Sea?
watch that movie. Yeah.
Deep Blue Sea, some of the CG
came out.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, my man.
You want to know something funny? You want to know something funny? I rented it with our favorite Halloween movie, Resurrection. I did a double feature with both those movies.
That's where you fucked up at. You fucked up by even throwing Resurrection into the mix. Deep Blue Sea is cheesy as shit at times, but it's still, for me, it's still top 5 shark movies. I know that's not really hard. It's a low bar nowadays, but Deep Blue Sea, that was the last of its kind. Like, not even really including the Meg, because the Meg's got a whole bunch of other shit going on. But Deep Blue Sea is the last.
To HBO next week, I believe.
The Meg. Did you see the Meg 2 Trench?
No, I wasn't gonna pay for that. I wasn't gonna
Listen,
pay for it.
being as though I saw that trailer, I knew exactly what I was getting myself into. I enjoyed the shit out of. People went into the Meg, like the people that saw the trailer, they went into that shit looking for the wrong shit. I went in there, when I saw that trailer, I'm like, okay, we got a new Meg. Oh shit, we got 2 more? So we got 3 Megs, a big ass octopus, dinosaurs, and eels, and all types of shit coming out the trench. I said, let's fucking go. And I got way more than the trailer showed me. The Meg 2 is a bunch of movies in one, bro. I kid you not, and I can't help but like smile and kind of laugh when I'm telling you this because I want you to be prepared for like even in a movie called Meg 2, the Meg kind of takes a back seat in this one. The Meg is kind of just like, all right, like I don't want to do the work for a little bit. Like we in here, but we gonna take a back seat and give y'all the keys to the car and let y'all drive this thing. It is fucking nuts, man. It's crazy. The opening sequence, or one of the sequences in the beginning, is a Jason Statham action movie. There's no creatures, no nothing. It's a Jason Statham action movie at some point. And it's a buddy cop movie at some point. It's so many different movies in one, man. It's Jurassic Park at some point. And I'm like, I am all for this shit. I don't know if they're going to make a part 3 because that shit cleaned up. Like I don't understand how to
make a part 3. Oh wait, no, never mind. I was actually watching Deep Blue Sea 3. They made a Deep Blue Sea 3.
Whew. Oh man, yeah. The chick from Texas Chainsaw 3D's in there, Tanya Raymond. And as much as I like her, I said I can't do this. I watched Deep Blue Sea 2, and that was bad enough. So Deep Blue Sea 3 said no, I can't do this, man. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Released 3 years ago. I didn't even know they made a part 3. I didn't even know they made a part 2. Shit.
Part 2 is so stupid, man. Part 2, they've got these little buttons where they like if a shark's coming towards you, you hit the button and the sharks just go their separate ways and don't even worry about you. Like it is the dumbest shit that I could ever see in a Deep Blue Sea 2. It didn't need a part 2 for real. A movie with smart sharks, just leave it by itself. Like Rennie Harlan, he almost fucked that movie up, but he didn't. It's definitely a good shark movie. But part 2, they did. There's a guy who screams at a shark and it swims away. I kid you not. There's a part in the movie, the black guy, the guy from he was in Aquaman, Michael Beach. He was not Aquaman, but he was Black Manta's dad. He is the guy who's like, we can make these sharks smart and he's that guy. You know, the corporate guy who wants to, you know, make bank off of these smart sharks. Yeah, he's that guy. And it's a scene where he screams at the shark underwater and the shark swims away. He gives like some type of sonic waves off. Listen, don't look for it to make sense. I see your face. Don't look for it to make sense.
I'm just like Michael Beach, man. Like, were you earning for cell phone money? Like, what the fuck?
Listen,
Michael Beach, TV actor, dog. Like, you fake money. Like, what the fuck?
Michael Beach is the black Michael Douglas. He's always doing something wrong in all his movies. I keep saying this shit. He's in Saw 10, and whatever trap he's in, he did that shit. He earned that shit. There's no doubt in my mind that Michael Beach will be a bad character.
Saw 10?
He is. You see him for a quick second in the trailer. He's in that shit.
You know what? I didn't even watch the trailer because I was just like, I oversaw. I like Spiral. I really did like Spiral, and I don't know why
Spiral was really good.
Yeah, I don't know why people are coming down on that movie as hard as they did, because I actually like Spiral, and I think because Chris Rock. I think because if you had anyone else in that lead, it'd probably be more believable. But you had Chris Rock in that lead. I think that's what does not give it credibility. And it's a shame, too, because I wanted to know exactly where that story was going to go. I wanted to know what the end game of that story was going, because that would have been so fucking cool, man.
Chris Rock, like, as much as I can't take him seriously, Chris Rock didn't do a bad job in the movie. But like you said, it's because Chris Rock, people are like, oh, we can't take him seriously even when he's doing dramatic acting. It was that, and it was the fact, like, I'm going to call a spade, man. One of the reasons people gave Spiral a lot of bullshit and why people are hyped for Saw 10, don't get me wrong, I'm hyped for Saw 10. I came around to it, but it's because Tobin Bell. Tobin Bell is nowhere in Spiral, if I'm not mistaken. Is he in? He's not in there at all, right? I don't remember seeing him. They mentioned him.
Cameo, like there's a picture of him on the murder board.
Okay, but they don't have him in no flashbacks or none of that bullshit. Finally, we got a Saw movie that proved that, like, you see what they did with Scream. Sidney wasn't even in it. Shit was still fire. Tobin Bell's nowhere in Spiral, and it functions perfectly without him. They have moved on from that character. He's going to be a part of it regardless, but you don't have to keep showing him in cameo appearances and, oh, this is how they tied it in with all the rest of the movies to make it tie into Chris Rock. And they didn't do that shit, and I appreciated that. But people, they do that. Listen, and people can criticize me on this shit all they want to. I will stand on this 10 toes down. Everybody does that complaining shit where, oh, we need Tobin Bell to make a good Saw movie. We need Jamie Lee Curtis to make a good Halloween. We need Neve Campbell to make a good Scream, and so on and so forth. You don't. Like, it's not hard, but Arnold Schwarzenegger proved to everybody you can have Arnie in a Terminator movie and that should still be trash. Two of them, back to back.
Not even just have Arnie, but have James Cameron and Linda Hamilton part of the Terminator franchise also, and it'd still be ass.
Yeah, like it makes no fucking sense. And I wasn't even on board with Saw 10 because when they said they were bringing him back, I'm like, here we go again, man. And they said this is going to take place between part 1 and part 2, and I'm like, all right, man, because now y'all just using all this shit as a security blanket to push the story along and all this other shit. But when I saw the trailer, I said, yeah, this is giving me Saw 6 vibes as far as like the medical industry malpractice and shit like that. Oh, I'm rooting for Jigsaw in this movie. The shit that they do to him, I'm rooting for him to fuck these people up in this new one, because there's a line in a movie where somebody's like, of all people to fuck with, you chose John Kramer, and I'm like, yeah, I won't even spoil it for you in case you do watch the trailer, but it does look better than I could have imagined. But I like, where do we go now? We'll probably never get a Spiral follow-up after this, because if Saw 10 does good, they're going to want Tobin Bell back. And then it's going to be, oh, well, this takes place between Saw 3 and Saw 4, but ties it into Saw 16 and all that. Like, come on, man. We have to move past these fucking, these blueprint characters, man. We got to, like, it's time to, put the big boy draws on and let these fucking franchises take on new life. Like, if you keep recycling Tobin Bell and all this other shit, like, you set up copycat killers for what? Just to keep bringing him back in all these sequels?
I know.
Or
like,
prequels,
you
requels?
have Harry Ells, you have the guy from Jigsaw, you know what I mean? His protege. Like, you have all these. Like, I want to know what the fuck, like how does the partner from Spiral connect to Jigsaw? Like, how does that connection work? Like, he was too young to be part of the Apprentice crew. You know what I mean? Like, he was young during that time. The movie takes place like 10 years after the fact. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He was he was like what? He wasn't even a teenager really when his dad got killed in that flashback sequence. Yeah. He looked like he was like 11, 12 years old or some shit like that. But I don't know, man. And Hoffman, Costas Mandela's character, like, I know they left him in that room. He's got to get out somehow. The motherfucker was the only person to escape the reverse bear trap in the franchise.
Oh,
He's got to get out of that room.
I think they confirmed that he's dead in 6, 7.
He got locked in the room, and at the end of 7, because Cary Elwes' character, he took the saw from him. He was like, oh no you don't. He took the saw from him, then he closed the door. I mean, if they did confirm he died, that's some bullshit. Because he's coming back for Saw 10, but it's going to be prequel stuff. So I don't know. Lionsgate, get your shit together. Damn it. Let's get progressive, Lionsgate. I would tag y'all, but I ain't trying to burn that bridge right now. I ain't trying to do all that. Not about to tag Lionsgate to this shit. Or Twisted Pictures. Isn't that the other company for the Saw movies is Twisted Pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to burn that bridge. Not at all. And they did get the Saw 6 director to come back. So that's good. I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see if Saw can which franchise has the most entries not including Puppet Master, because there's 18 of those fucking movies. I want to see if Saw can surpass Friday the 13th.
Children of the Corn. Children of the Corn. Probably a rival.
God damn.
No,
man.
no, Amityville. Amityville.
Ooh.
Amityville.
Oh, man. Oh, God.
Over 30 entries. And a lot of them, none of them make sense. What do you mean? Like, yeah, none of them make sense.
You talk about fucking public domain. They got Amityville in the hood. They got Amityville in space. They got Amityville.
Yo, I would watch Amityville in the Hood. I would watch that fucking movie.
It's there, man. Like, it exists. I'm not even joking. Like, they've got. Listen, I've seen Amityville. I think Amityville 2 is the best that I've seen in the fucking franchise.
There is an Amityville in the Hood. Oh my
God. I wasn't joking. They really got that shit.
Joking. Oh my God.
No, it's legit, bro. Who?
Mark Pattinson is this, bro.
Hold on. Mark Pattinson?
Yeah, Mark Patton from Elm Street 2. Jesse.
Oh, Jesse. My man. He's in Amityville in the Hood. You fucking liar.
Swear to God.
Mark Patton is in Amityville in the Hood. Okay, now, we was just talking about motherfuckers that needed to pay phone bills. Yes. Mark Patton, like, come on, man. Come on, man. I was just watching. Like last month or so, I was just watching that Elm Street documentary for Nightmare on Elm Street 2, and I felt so bad for Mark Patton, man, because he wasn't openly gay at the time, and Jack Shoulder kept forcing all the gay shit into the script and into the story, and I was like, damn, I feel so bad for him. But now when you tell me he's in Amityville in the Hood, it's like, no, I don't feel you doing it to yourself. This is all self-inflicted. Amityville Cop, Amityville High, Return to Amityville, Amityville, The Final Testament. Like,
okay,
kiss my
real talk,
ass,
real
man.
Real talk. I'm gonna watch this fucking movie. I'm gonna watch this movie. Amityville in the fucking Hood. What the fuck? Even the poster's fucking crazy, bro.
I'm about to look this shit up because IMDb cut my shit off. Amityville.
It's the skull. It's like a skull with the windows for the eyes. Like, yeah.
Oh, fuck y'all.
They totally try to rip off Tales from the Hood. Holy shit.
Hold up. Hold.
Yeah. No.
This is. I'm like looking at the plot for this, and it's just fucking ridiculous. They grew bud on.
A gang uses a cursed Amityville property to grow marijuana, but it soon makes its way to the streets, giving users hallucinations. Holy shit!
And then the trailer, you know how IMDb plays the trailer for you? It says a new strain of terror. Fuck y'all, man. Fuck y'all with this bullshit.
Holy shit, yo.
And here I am, every time I come up with a story idea, balling up a piece of paper like, no, this is just ridiculous, and just throwing it in the trash, and we got shit like this that exists. I gotta stop being so hard on myself, man. Like, this is...
Oh, God, dude. Just the quality of this does not look good.
Same director, people, y'all ready for this? The same director from Mega 8, Ebola Rex, Cocaine Cougar, and Apex Predators. This motherfucker has 100...
Is that about like a 50-year-old woman on cocaine or what?
Yeah, Cocaine Cougar is actually the biopic that's based on the actress that plays Stifler's mom. That's That's what that's based on, or so I've
Get
heard.
the fuck out of here. I was joking. Seriously?
Yeah, I'm lying. I'm lying. Let me stop because I love Jennifer Coolidge. Like, let me stop. Jennifer Coolidge, I like her a lot, man. I do. She was the first like on screen cougar I could think of. Let me not do that. Let me
Oh
not
my
do that.
god. That's funny as fuck. I would have, dude. Oh my god, dude. This looks so bad.
Yeah, you should try watching the trailer for Amityville in Space. I wasted a fucking trailer reaction on that bullshit, man. They made that shit for $2. It's it's all bad.
I saw, the comment. I saw it and it was so awful.
No, no, you don't say. Fucking Captain Obvious in the comments. What did they expect? Like, y'all going into Amityville in the hood, and I don't expect any comment to not say that it's terrible. Y'all,
No, man. It might be
special breed out there, man.
Might be fired. Never know.
Leprechaun in the Hood was fire. That's as far as I go.
Yeah.
With these properties coming to the, they're not going to. Are they going to make what Children of the Hood? Like, are they going to do that?
They did. It's called Urban Harvest.
Hey, technically,
I'm not wrong.
Technically, you're right. They had a mixture. There was white kids, there was black kids, there was Spanish kids. Urban fucking Harvest.
For some reason.
We don't complain about Charlize Theron on RNZ Live, man.
But she was there.
Theron.
I'm just saying.
She never. I don't think she's ever talked about that shit either. You know how we were talking about like big name actors and actresses that started with horror, like fucking Children of the Corn. Charlize Theron was in 3. Naomi Watts was in 4. Eva Mendes was in 5. David Carradine was in 5. And Fred Williamson. I don't think any of these people. I know.
That was
I know.
Wasted.
I know.
Oh my god. Wasted. Fucking idea. Wasted.
I know.
You had David Carradine and Fred Williamson and Kane Hodder all in one fucking movie, and you completely waste them.
They had David Carradine sitting in a chair. They probably had him for as long as they had Donald Pleasance in the first Halloween movie. Like, he probably was like, listen, you got me for 2 days, and that's all I'm giving you. That's it.
Yeah.
And
once I pay my phone bill and get my electricity back on, I'm back on Tarantino set. So let's go.
Yeah. And they had Billy Drago in one of those movies at some point. Like,
oh my god,
it's got casting.
Like Billy Drago, but god damn, bro, like what the fuck, man.
Billy Drago's in Tremors 4. He's in Tremors 4. He plays the guy who doesn't believe Burt Gummer's descendant. He's like, you're crazy. There's no worms underground. He's that guy.
Billy
He plays
Drago,
the asshole character.
Billy Drago was best when he's a fucking dirtbag, scumbag.
Yep.
When he's
Every time.
Sleaze. When he's a fucking straight sleaze, like that motherfucker, like that's when he shines. Like, oh my god.
What's Billy Drago? Hold up, I gotta look this up. I want to say Billy Drago was in Cyborg 2. Cyborg 2 Glass Shadow, or am I wrong? Oh no, he wasn't there. Because he scared the shit out of me in that movie, man. He just looks creepy as fuck.
Just like you, Johnny. Hey, yeah, remember that next time, Aaron, you need someone to help move your couch, fucker.
What happened?
Because I'm talking about Billy Drago and he's a scumbag. And just like you, Johnny.
Angelina Jolie was in this shit?
And what?
I gotta go back and watch Cyborg 2 with no Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Rick Young's in there.
Oh man.
Lady Dragon Dragon. Oh, he was in Vamp?
Kate,
Oh my god.
Casey Jones is in it too. I don't really remember much of this movie though. I know it was no Cyborg 1.
Cyborg 1 wasn't even Cyborg 1.
You didn't like Cyborg is probably
It's
I don't know,
Universal
man.
Soldier before Universal Soldier. That's what it is.
That dude who's Jean-Claude, the big boss, he used to scare the shit out of me too. The dude with those creepy looking eyes, the tall guy. Would he have like a ponytail or something like that? He's a creepy dude.
Oh, you know what? That'd be a great fucking trilogy. Or this is like another great topic for a show. Unrelated trilogies. Cyborg. Hold on. Cyborg, Soldier, and Silo. And Solo.
Solo. I have not heard of that movie. Was Mario Van Peebles in Solo?
Yeah.
I remember Solo. I really just remember the trailers and the front cover back from like the Blockbuster, not even Blockbuster, fucking West Coast Video era.
He's like in the bushes and he has the gun like this and he has like the paint on his face, the war paint.
Seeing that shit, I remember seeing that shit.
That movie did not match that energy. That movie was slow as fuck.
Yup, here we go. 96, man. I remember seeing this shit, not even just in West Coast, but I remember seeing this shit in Sun Coast. Like in the malls and shit. William Sadler's in this shit. Adrien Brody's in here. Everybody's favorite predator hunter. That was sarcasm, by the way, people. I think Adrien Brody was he's 100 pounds soaking wet, and they put him in a predator movie going up against a fucking alien he's an alien assassin. And Adrien Brody, he's like my size.
Hey, man, he was auditioning for Batman. I was just auditioning for Batman, so, you know.
Yeah, because he kept talking like this. I'm like, shut the... Shit just made my throat hurt even more. Yeah, he couldn't even be charismatic. He kept trying to talk like that. Like, I remember him and Alice Braga are sitting there having their moment, like, loading their guns up, like, kind of like... He's like,
no chemistry.
Yeah, no chemistry whatsoever. And he looks back at her. He's like, "You still pissed?" It's like what'd you say? Like, speak the fuck up. That fake ass laryngitis. I'm a badass superhero voice. I hated him in that movie. Cause it's like he was the guy. Okay, you're a trained professional. Don't get me wrong. He's the baddest of the baddest, but he is plot convenience at his finest. He knew everything to do. What we can do is we can set up a trap that's going to draw him out here, and then we draw him out there. All right, everybody, let's move out. And it's like, so you just know, okay, we need an alpha male in a movie like this, but you know everything what to do? Everything? Nah, I couldn't stand him in that fucking movie. And all the characters, see, I'm about to go on a rant, because all the characters that they had in that movie, and they didn't utilize none of them. You didn't do shit with Danny Trejo. You didn't do shit with Mahershala Ali. They didn't do shit with the big fucking Russian that was in there. They didn't do shit with the Yakuza. All they did was give him a cop-out scene to try to mimic, what's the big dude's name? Billy, yeah, they gave him like a sacrificial cop-out battle. It's like, come on, man, Lawrence Fishburne. He's in the movie for 15 minutes before he gets killed, and he's probably the most interesting character in there.
And I'm
like, come on, man.
I'm so pissed that fucking Danny Glover turned that down. So mad.
That was supposed to be Danny Glover?
Yeah, they wrote that role for him. That was supposed to be for him. He turned it down. And I quote, "I'm too old for this shit." Direct quote.
Oh my God, that would have made more sense. They found him, brought him back to the planet, and he's just been surviving out there for seasons on end. It would have been so much better when he took that mask off. It would have fit his character with that line where he's like, "What the fuck are you?" And he takes the mask off and he's like, "I'm alive." That's one of the best lines in the movie. But if Danny Glover said it, it would have been. Like, so much potential that movie had, man. And people talk shit to me for liking The Predator. It's got way better characters. Not way better characters, but it's got characters that were written with better shit to do in the movie. They gave Keegan-Michael Key shit to do in that movie. He didn't have no business
Yeah, history.
being there.
Him and Thomas Jane had like a really great dynamic. He had a really great dynamic.
You got fucking Thomas Jane in the movie, for God's sakes, man. And that movie's better than, I don't care. The Predator's better than Predators, people. Sue me. Aaron said, what would a male Mary Sue be called?
A Chad. Chad Powers. Mary Sue.
Fucking
What would that?
Predators.
Yeah, I think it's Chad Powers or Brad. Let me see.
Oh, did you see the I gotta bring this up too before we move on. The Rebel Moon trailer, I don't know if that's like something you into. I did watch it, but it looks like Star Wars.
Yeah, hold on.
Looks like Star Wars directed by Zack Snyder.
Hold that thought. Aaron, to answer your question, the male version of Mary Sue is actually a Gary Stu, and Gary is the other variation of similar names without gender bias. So yeah, that would be the male version. But I like mine better, Chad Powers. That just sounds better. I feel like Gary Stu is just a fucking cop out. Gary Stu has made a lot of action-packed stories and films. They fit above criteria, lacking personality, flaws, struggles, and being extremely attractive and powerful. Think Superman, Bond, Aragon, or Harry Potter. So that makes sense. And yes, it is Star Wars. It is an R-rated Star Wars film. I'm okay with that. I'm not really big on Star Wars to begin with in the first place. Like, I'm not. Those of you that watched or listened to Cinema Space Podcast know that I am not a big fan of Star Wars. Like, I'm not a fan of the sequels. I'm okay on the prequels. I hate Jedi. A New Hope and Empire are peak, but Return of the Jedi is garbage. And I want to see what Zack Snyder could do unleashed with Star Wars like weaponry. Like, what the fuck? Like, I want to see what he could do in craft. You know what I mean? This was supposed to be a Star Wars film. Actually, this was actually supposed to be They pitched this as a Star Wars film, and they did not want to use any of the main characters. They wanted to make their own characters and their own things. I want to see this fucking movie. This fucking movie looks fucking awesome, bro.
It's in two parts.
I saw Ahsoka right after watching that trailer, and now I'm kind of down on Ahsoka because Ahsoka does not look good. Because some of those scenes are terrible.
The Star Wars TV show, the spinoff or some shit like that. Isn't Rosario Dawson in that?
Yes.
Man, I'm so fucking behind with everybody's like, watch The Mandalorian, watch this, and watch not fucking Han Solo. Watch Obi-Wan, and I still got to catch up on the last The Last Jedi and the Rise of Skywalker. I've only seen what the hell is the Force Awakens as far as the new ones? That's the only one I've seen. I've seen Solo. I thought Rogue One was the shit. I like Rogue One a lot. And the prequels, like as far as the prequels, Revenge of the Sith is my shit. But other than that, I'm all Star Wars out. So when I saw this trailer, I was intrigued because it's Zack Snyder, and I want to see like if Netflix will give him free reign the way fucking WB wouldn't. I'm no shade to WB, but fuck y'all for that.
It's like a fucking 3-hour epic. Apparently.
Yeah.
So.
And part 2 drops next year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God damn, man, like we got a trailer for this. I still haven't seen Dune. And Dune Part 2 Dune Part 2 just got pushed back. But I have not seen Dune yet. Like all these sci-fi operas, like I'm still trying to catch up on them. Like it's a lot, but this cast for Rebel Moon is I forgot Anthony Hopkins was in this shit. I did not see Ray Fisher at all in this trailer, and for Zack Snyder to throw him a bone and cast him in here, Zack Snyder's the real MVP. I want him to wrap this shit up. Like, I'm glad people are excited for this, but I want him to wrap this shit up so he can get to Planet of the Dead. That's what I'm waiting for. from Zack Snyder. I need that. I need that. I need
Yeah.
that. I need that.
Yep.
I need that because I want him to go fucking stupid with this last one. Like, we got Dawn of the Dead, we got Army of the Dead. I need you to cap this off and tell us that these are all connected. Just tell us these are all connected without bringing back any characters.
Amara Harwood said that there's a script already been written, and he's just waiting on Zack Snyder, just waiting on the phone call. But with the strike, I don't know if it's going to happen anytime soon.
No, it's not. That shit probably won't come out until 3036. I forgot Omari Hardwick's character even survived at the end of Army of the Dead. And I was just watching that shit the other day.
That's a secret.
He does. He definitely does. I forgot that, that's because I didn't watch it to the end. I had watched Army of the Dead again a couple weeks ago, but I really only watched it for the one part where you think Dave Bautista and the Spanish chick are about to rekindle their love, and that bitch gets her neck broken. Like, she gets her shit just like 360'd around, and then that bone just pokes out after the fact. That was one of the best, like, sucker punch deaths ever in a zombie movie, ever. Like, ever.
Okay. Are you ready for our main event? Because I'm
ready. I'm ready for the death threats. I'm ready for the disputes.
Main event. I'm going to be breaking. So if you're watching this on YouTube, this is going to be broken up into 2 parts. So this first half is going to be from 10 to 5. And then it'll be up on the 3rd, and then the following weekend you'll get 5 through 1. So we are talking hip-hop classics here on R&Z. We're both avid hip-hop fans. We love hip-hop. And, this is kind of a show and a topic that I've been wanting to do for years. I've been wanting to do this for years, but can never find people to do it with me that are knowledgeable, and I finally found someone that could do it. So I appreciate Romero for taking the time. I can't wait to see what you got, because my list is going to blow your list away.
Listen, if it's one thing, listen, I already told my girl this earlier. I was like,
I got Stuff the Shocker and E40 on here, dog. You ain't ready for that.
Oh, well, your list is already better than mine. If you got those 3 on there, that triumphs over the entire 10. Silk the Shocker alone. You putting Silk the Shocker on your list alone. That's all you need.
That's number 1, dude. For real.
That's all you need. I have Silk Shocker's unreleased collaboration album.
Always see Murder writing his verses.
Yeah, from prison. From fucking prison, yeah. No, I told my girl earlier, I was like, she's like, yo, you ready for the stream tonight? I was like, yeah. I said, I know for a fact Johnny's list is going to be, it's probably going to be an album, an artist that I haven't heard of, one or the other, or both, or it's just going to be super OG old school. I said, I just got a feeling based off of when we did our... Is it? Yeah, okay. See, I know, because there's a certain time period for my 10. And I looked at this list and I'm confident, but my honorable mentions, there's going to be a lot of people looking at this or hearing my honorable mentions and saying, this should be on there, that should be on there, you're missing this person, you're missing that person. It is not a typical list. Like, people that know me, they know, like, the type of music I grew up on, but I picked 10 that really got no skips for me. Like, there really isn't a song, there may be one on each, but I picked 10 that are no skips, albums that got me through some shit. And yeah, I'm looking at it now. I'm just like, damn, this. I hope people are ready for this. It's pretty controversial.
So, just for sake of argument, I have no Nas, no Jay, no Big on my list, because those albums, I feel, they go without being said. It goes without being said. You know what I mean? goes without being said. Like Illmatic, Stillmatic, It Was Written, Reasonable Doubt, Blueprint, Volume 2, Ready to Die, Life After Death. You know what I mean? Like, those albums are always in the conversation when people talk about classic albums. Like, it's always in the conversation. So, I'm not sure, I can't speak for Romero, but for me personally, those albums will not be on my list because those albums go without saying that they are already classics. Point blank, period. You know what I mean?
I was almost 200% sure you were going to have Nas on your list. I said it earlier to myself. I was like, Johnny's going to have Nas on his list. But no, I'm glad you said that because I have no Tupac on my list. I have no Biggie on my list. I have no Nas. I have no DMX. I have no Ja Rule. I know the Ja Rule probably threw people off, but don't front on Ja Rule like he wasn't doing the same shit 50 Cent started doing and ended his career for it. We're not going to do that tonight. Yeah, exactly. That is him. It's in
That's a fire album.
Mentions.
That's a fire album. I don't care what anyone says. That's a fucking fire fucking album.
I had that shit on cassette, bro.
I don't know. I don't know. But
anything after that is fire. Absolutely. Anything after that is questionable. It's not terrible. Like I did like was that Rule 336? It was okay. It got a little bit happy-go-lucky, but it had like 6 Feet Underground on Rule 336. Blood in My Eye was what's that the one with Clap Back on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm being a hypocrite. 50 Cent prevented me from listening to Blood in My Eye. I'm sorry.
I bought it in spite of 50 Cent.
Was it decent though?
It was okay, yeah. It was actually, there was some fucking bangers on there. The only problem, it's funny because I was watching, not to go on a tangent, but I was watching Benzino again going on his old man rant about Eminem, and
Jesus, man,
it got me thinking like how he was talking about the source and this and that. I'm like, motherfucker, you weren't even dope enough to get a feature from Ja Rule, bro, and they were beefing with the same people. Like, Ja didn't even want you in on his beef. Like, what the fuck? Like, no. Like, Benzino made a cameo and
like, we got this, bro.
Benzino wasn't even on the fucking album. He should have been on the album because that would have been the perfect fuck you moment. You know what I mean?
Benzino's like the cousin you got that can't rap, but he's always like hanging out in the studio. He's like, man, when you gonna let me get on this track? It's like not today, man. Not today, all right? Maybe next time.
Another thing, too, is that he even explicitly says, like, one of his disses was even written by Math Hoffa. So,
Benzino,
you didn't even write your diss
man,
tracks? Like, he said that he wrote Die Another Day, but everything else after that, like Pull Up Your Skirt or Lose Yourself, they were written by someone else. They weren't written by him. Which goes to prove his point.
When you said Die Another Day, I'm thinking I automatically thought of the fucking Madonna song, the theme song for the James Bond movie. I was about to be like, oh, this guy's pretty versatile over there. I was about to give him ultimate credit.
I thought you were gonna go, because this is where my brain is. I thought you were gonna go, oh, you seen that URL battle too? That URL event? Because there's a URL event called Die Another Day.
I watch a couple of them. I went back and watched like old school battles like Philly versus Harrisburg and all that shit. But I like the URL like the smack battles. They're so like some of them are really good, but they're so animated. Like motherfuckers got time to do research now, and they pull out documents and shit. Like it's like all right, man.
That's my favorite when they start pulling out paperwork and shit. That's fucking hilarious.
Just rap, like it's fucking ridiculous, man.
Yeah, it looks like Matt Hoffa just dropped that Benzino episode, so I might give that a listen tomorrow at work. Yeah. Oh, before we get into our list, I just wanted to say I don't know how you feel about this. I don't know if you saw my TikTok about it earlier last week.
What's that? 5
mics. Benzino goes on to say 5 mics isn't everything. It isn't that serious. Fuck you, for one, Benzino. 5 mics was everything to a lot of artists. It was. Like, 5 mics was everything to a lot of artists. You know what I mean? To say
he just randomly said that, or?
Serious, yeah, he said that. Like, I posted a clip on there on my TikTok where he says it wasn't that serious. 5 mics ain't that serious. And then Matt Hoffa goes on to point out, like, dude, 5 mics was everything. If a dude named MC Rambo got 5 mics in the Source, I'm gonna go cop his album and see why he got 5 mics in the Source. I remember picking up Big L's Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous, and it had the orange sticker of the Source says certified album to get 4 mics in the Source. That was a big deal. That's a big deal. Even Scarface the Fix had the 5 mic sticker emblem when it was released on its second run. Like, to say that
that was the incentive we needed.
Crazy. Fuck out of here.
He's just being a bitter old man. Like, that's something that you really can't take away from like the Source era or just hip hop in general. That shit did mean a lot to people that read the magazine. That was our excitement. That was our, that was basically like our like throwback version. You know how like they do the same shit with movies. This is like the craziest movie ever. That was what got people hyped to go see it. And the 5 mics was what got people hyped. Well, even when listen, I used to listen to the bad shit too. Like if something got like 2 mics and they got that step your bars up type of thing, I was like, yeah, I want to see if it's as bad as they're saying. Yeah, but yeah, you can't, like, Benzino, I don't know. Maybe he's just turning into that guy, man. He's turning into the much older Joe Budden of the industry. That guy who had that one hit song and just never got out of that slump, got a bunch of bullshit going on in the media and reality TV. Like, it's a bad spot.
He goes on to say that the people reviewing the albums weren't people from the culture and that they were, like, college kids and other people that didn't necessarily go out and be in the hood and be gangsters. And he's like, dude, like, why is Eminem getting 5 mics? Why is Cannabis deserve 4 mics? Like, no. Like, these motherfuckers don't deserve to get that shit. Like, give this gangster album like 4 mics and shit like that. You know what I mean? Even Mac was all like, dude, I gave someone 3.5 mics and I took it to Dave and he says, add another mic to it. It's 4 mics. It's not 3.5. It's 4. Like, the fuck? What do you mean? Like, so it's like, man, the politics behind it, like watching some of that shit, is just makes me think, fuck, man, did those mics really mean anything back in the day? Behind the scenes. I mean, because as a fan, they mean everything. They mean everything.
Yeah, and I feel like
it seems like they didn't mean shit.
It's subjective though, because something could get 5 mics, and like while it gets us hyped to listen to it, it also like it doesn't always hold. Like, okay, for example, I'm trying to think of an album that got like 4 or 5 mics and I listened to it and it didn't really hold up. Like, it's subjective, but that still was the reason that people wanted to go out and listen to the shit. I don't know. I don't know. Benzino is just, I don't know. Why didn't you say all of this back in the day? Like, you want to expose politics and the Source and in hip hop. Like, why'd you wait? Because he probably was a part of that shit.
Because he was complicit. He was complicit in all of it. That's why he didn't speak up on it until now. He's like, yeah, I fucking robbed M of his 5 mics both times. Like, he deliberately took mics away from artists that he didn't like because he didn't like their kind of music.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if the Source was around when Good Kid, Mad City dropped and that did not get 5 mics?
That's the Kendrick shit, right?
Not like it?
Was that the Kendrick album?
Yeah, it was the Kendrick album.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I like Benzino just he gets it's other shit to be worried about. I feel like his time, as far as whether his opinion is valued or not in hip hop, I feel like that day has come and passed. I feel like that day passed like decades ago, because ain't nobody listening to Rock the Party no more. And nobody's listening to that shit. I think that might have been the only song he had. No, he had like 2. But Benzino's not a guy who I take what he says with a grain of salt. Like, he never left a mark on anything hip hop for me to be like, well, maybe he's got a point. No, you're turning into that bitter old man. You are, and it happens with these guys, man. And I hate that for them. But he's doing all his shit is about to be self-inflicted at this point. Like, you're doing it to yourself. He needs to mend his fucking relationship with his child and worry about that shit. Because she's popping right now, and you ain't. He ain't.
It's funny, too, because she was just on Math Hoffa. She was just on there.
Was she?
Yeah, she was just on about, like, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, she's popping right now.
That's fucking... That's kind of funny. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, okay. It's like you can't live your dreams through your child because she's doing it right now. It ain't you ain't it, bruh. I'm sorry, Benzino. I'll burn that bridge too. Yeah. And you never set a bar that impressed me either. Sorry, guy. Fuck out of here, man. Benzino is in my honorable mentions though. I'm lying. He's not.
Untouchable.
He's not. He would. Okay. He would never. I couldn't even fucking tell you what the name of his album was. I don't even know. I don't know none of that bullshit.
Made Men.
What is it?
Made Men.
That's the name of his album?
Yeah, that was the name of his album. I think that was the one with Rock the Party and the song he did with Jadakiss, Call Me, Call My Name. Which that sounds kind of fire. That sounds kind of fire. Jadakiss kills it. Jadakiss always kills it. Like,
yeah, that's what people. You hear what you just said though? That's how whack Benzino is. It's like, yeah, Jadakiss killed it. Nobody else is on the fucking song. Like,
yeah, it's just Jadakiss. A 16 and 8 bars, bro. That's it. 16 bars and 8 bars. Boom, done.
Yeah, he probably was thinking, yeah, Jadakiss is the hottest shit out right now. I'm gonna get him on this track, and people fucking forgot he was on the shit. Mm-hmm. That's all you gotta be. Be careful who you feature on your songs, people. They'll steal that shit right from you.
Yeah, that's right. You always got to come with it, man. Always got to come with it. Okay, so you want to kick us off, or do you want me to kick it off? Me?
You got it. Okay. I'm very intrigued here, sir.
Okay, at number 10, and this is only in number 10 because it was never officially released by Columbia Records, and it was shelved after a very dire incident involving 50 Cent. When he got shot 9 times on his way to go film a music video. And it is Power of the Dollar.
You was telling me to listen to this.
This is a phenomenal album. And this is where you get to see, 50 Cent's really ability to write songs and to make hits. Like, man, people say that had he not gone to Aftermath, he wouldn't... I do think if Columbia had put this album out, he would have blown. Because he had Thug Love featuring Destiny's Child. Destiny's Child.
Oh, did he?
Right before they were about to blow. When they dropped No, 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 Part 2. Had he had dropped and filmed that video for Thug Love and Destiny's Child came out with No, 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 he would have been the biggest thing ever. Not to mention you have 2 certified street hits in How to Rob and Life's on the Line. Like, come on, How to Rob really shows his comic and witty ability. Life's on the Line really shows his battling ability when he's just going at job. And Thug Love really shows that he has that market appeal, that he had the appeal to cross over.
He's got a lot of songs on here. I'm looking at the playlist now. He's got a lot of tracks. This was the album that you told me to mark down and listen to when you were like, yo, if you really want like the early, when 50 was like really spitting that shit trying to establish himself, this is the one I remember because I had wrote this down in one of my other books. I remember you telling me to listen to this because I hadn't heard this one before.
This is why I was so disappointed in Get Rich or Die Trying, because I heard Guess Who's Back, and then I worked my way back and I found this, and I was like, holy shit, what the fuck? You like this better than Get Rich or Die Trying? Some people would say that's like the greatest album of all time. But I think it's mainly because it sounds New York. It's so New York sound. You have LES, Trackmasters, DJ Scratch. You have prominent New York producers producing this motherfucker right here. LES is famously known for producing Nas and AZ. Trackmasters, I mean, come on, think about all the hits they did. You know what I mean? Yeah. Trackmasters would. Trackmasters. Nigga, you needed a fire remix, you hired Trackmasters. Listen, when you heard that somebody say Trackmasters on that shit back in the day, it was a banger. Certified
certified banger. So this was an album 50 did. Obviously, you said he did this before Get Rich or Die Trying, but this is an album he dropped or had made before he got shot.
Yes.
And that stopped them from releasing this?
The rumor is that the song Ghetto Quran, Forgive Me, is the reason he got shot is because he's talking about Preem and McGriff and like the whole drug trade in Queens.
Oh, and Lord.
He's talking about certain things that he shouldn't be talking about, and that's the reason he got shot. And Preem had a lot of pull in the music industry at that time and blackballed 50 from the music industry in New York. Totally blackballed him. Like, no, you're not going to get signed anywhere. Universal turned him down. Def Jam turned him down. That's why he came out west, because that was the only motherfuckers that would sign him.
Damn. The more you know.
Yeah, and like Preem and Irv were really tight, so they were blocking 50. Like they did not want 50 to come up because they knew if 50 came up, it was over for them. And they were right. They were right.
I don't remember if it was this album or Get Rich or Die Trying, but at some point, Hov was co-signing 50 before he had really blew up. Like, I don't remember what Hov was working on at the time, but he said it in an interview. He was like, yeah, I wanted to hurry up and get this made because I kept telling everybody the kid 50 Cent is coming. And he was really bigging this dude up, like, yo, he's about to have this shit on Smash. So to have a Hov co-sign was crazy.
Yeah, again, going back to the Math Hoffa thing, Just Blaze was in that room, and he was saying he was in there with Beans, Bleak, and State Prop, and they're like, dude, Hov was like, dude, y'all motherfuckers need to get fucking on it now. You need to get the fuck on it because this motherfucker is gonna fucking blow all you fuckers away, dude.
Oh
you better get on
it. And he listen, and he 50. While I didn't hear this album, and while Get Rich or Die Trying, I like the album, but it's not like it's not in this 10. It's not even in my honorable mentions. One of his albums is in my honorable mentions, but 50, you can't deny what he does, man. Like, this is a dude who, he ended Ja Rule's career, literally ended his career for the most part, his rap career, and then did the same shit that Ja Rule used to do, but made much better, more of a banger type of songs. Like 50, I've never really looked at 50 Cent as the most lyrical person, but the guy, it's his musical savvy for me. The way this motherfucker puts songs together and the people that he features, even though he had a lot of G-Unit features, but the people he features on his songs, just the shit that he does collectively to make a track. 50's he's just a musical genius, yo. You can never deny him of that shit.
Right. That's the thing. You know what I mean? It's
all his own shit.
I saw someone on TikTok say, I think it was Eddie Brock. He was saying that the difference between Game and 50 is that Game is a good rapper. He's a good fucking rapper. But 50 is a great writer. And there lies the difference. Because when you listen to Game after, because when you listen to the Game after the documentary, those same songs are not there on A Doctor's Advocate. They're not there. West Side Story, Higher, Church for Thugs, Special.
Church for Thugs, Put You on the Game. Oh my God, Don't Worry, Dreams. God damn, the documentary. I'm surprised I didn't put. Oh my God, I just realized I didn't put the documentary on my list. I didn't even put it in my honorable mentions. Listen, because talking about it now, and now that you put it out there like that, when you, we know, Game can't deny the fact that 50 helped him on that album. You cannot deny that, because like you said, and I never looked at it like that the way those songs hit, songs, not the way that they, how am I trying to put this shit? So, like you said, 50's the writer, Game's the rapper. And a lot of people don't know how to differentiate that shit. And that's one of the things that separates rappers from lyricists, or you
Yes.
know, rappers from songwriters, and so on and so forth. There is a difference, people. But now you got me wanting to listen to the documentary and listen to what's the second one, Doctor's
Doctor's
Advocate, that
Advocate.
game drop. Yeah, because you could tell the help is gone. The help
Mm.
is gone. Those songs are not strong at all. Maybe there's like one or two, but overall, as an album, you could tell 50 was no longer attached to that shit.
Yeah,
It's fucked up.
there's a different tone to the Doctor's Advocate. It's more West Coast based, and it's more rapping based. There's not a whole lot of strong concepts in the songs, and you can totally tell that he can be a great rapper, but some of those concepts are really weak, and it's just like damn.
I like Game, but yeah, 50's the mastermind, man.
Yeah, I mean, so for me, that's my number 10. It's Power of the Dollar. I really struggled putting this one on here because it's never been released, but it's officially, technically, it's been bootlegged enough that a lot of people have heard it. And I really want to shine a light on this album because I do think this is a classic album. Not only a classic album in hip-hop, but it's also a classic New York album that New York has not heard yet. And I really want people to go listen to this album. Unless you fucking got those fucking bootlegs from DJ Clue and saying, DJ Clue! Illuminati!
Jesus, yeah, oh my God, where he won't shut the fuck up. Oh my God. You get a whole 5-minute intro of just him shouting with an echo into it. God damn, that's what used to piss me off about those DJ Clue the Professional mixtapes. It's like, yeah. It's like he was the original DJ Khaled, for real. Only DJ Khaled's like, I don't know, it's something about him that's just way more obnoxious that I just can't.
Rest in peace, K-Slay, but he was the worst because he would always like make sure his vocals were so high over the beat that it drowns out the song.
Yeah, he's fucking with them knobs.
The CD.
He was fucking with them volume balance knobs.
Yeah.
Petty, man. Even in death. Yes, rest in peace, shout out to the late, great K-Slay, for sure.
Okay,
I gotta put this 50 album. Yeah, I gotta put this 50 album on my not watch list, but like listen list for the most part. Because I have not heard it.
I'm really curious to hear what your thoughts on this thoughts are.
Yeah, and this is the second time you've mentioned it, so yeah, I put it on there. I put it in the playlist for sure on the YouTube playlist. Well, I mean, my number 10 is not as gangster. This artist has never been shot 9 times. He doesn't have his own, at least not yet. He doesn't have his own biopic loosely based on, because I know how much you love Get Rich or Die Trying. You know, we don't have no, man. And listen, mine are. I feel like the closer I get to my number 1, they're there for a reason. But this one, it's nothing against the artist. It's nothing against the album. It's just number 10. You know, for no reason at all. But my number 10 is Forest Hills Drive. J. Cole had to put Cold World on there.
Okay.
Had to put Cold World.
Yeah.
And on some real shit, J. Cole, I was a bit of a late bloomer to J. Cole. You know, I didn't really listen to too much of his mixtapes, but then I think the first one I listened to was, I don't remember if it was the warm up, but it was something, I remember the title was Basketball Centered. And I remember telling myself, like, this boy can spit, but I remember hearing him, you know, when he popped up on, I think it was the Blueprint 3, A Star Is Born, I think the song was called, and he bodied that shit, and I'm like, okay, I need to start listening to this dude more because Hove co-signing him pretty heavy right now. And like I said, I didn't really frequent the mixtapes and all of that type of stuff. I don't know if this was his first album or if this was his second, technically. But
Forest Hill?
Yeah, was this his first or second album?
Third. That's his third.
Third? Okay, so clearly I was a late bloomer to this motherfucker.
Born of Illuminati is, I think, the second album, and then the first one is Cold World. Cold World, Sideline Story.
So J. Cole has he has no. Listen, and I can attest to that right there. Like when I say that this shit has no skips at all for me. Like first of all, like when I say this shit was getting me through sometimes, like January 28th was one of those songs I just would listen to on repeat. Um, No Role Models was a song I listened to on repeat. Wet Dreams was not really a song I listened to on repeat, but that's another banger. I want to say, was it called Fire and Squad?
Oh yeah,
GOMD.
Fire and Squad.
Geo Fire and
Scott
Squad went hard as shit. GOMD was my anthem at some point in time. I'm not putting no names out there, but that was definitely my anthem because I'm just like some people I was not beefing with anybody. Beef is Biggie already explained what that mean, but
it's Born Sinner. Sorry, just wanted to correct
the first one,
the
first or second album. Okay,
second album, Born Sinner.
All right. What else? Oh, and Tale of Two Cities. That is Cole's one of those dudes that even on his own songs, he puts miniature songs inside of his own songs that could function as other songs in his songs. Like Cole is literally the only fucking rapper that I know. I'm sorry, the only lyricist that I know that can do shit like that. He even does it on his features. And when he does that shit on, like if you feature Cole on your song, before his verse even starts, he's going to do a mini song. And somewhere in between, listen, he does this shit for real, man. And he's one of those dudes, like, when I say this shit has no skips, he's wise. He's wise in his bars with every song he puts out, man. And his concepts are crazy. I never get tired of listening to him because he seems to like one up himself on every song. I gotta pull up this fucking playlist before I forget. I feel like I'm forgetting a song on here. And Love Yours. I forgot about Love Yours. That, when I say songs was pulling me through certain days, Love Yours is another song. And his production. I don't know how many beats of these he made himself, but he does his own production a lot of times. So you're wearing two hats already. Fire ass beats, fire ass bars, and you're all like you're self, producing at this point. Like you are self sufficient at this point. Cole, and it's like I feel like even if I went back and listened to the other albums, especially his album what was the last one he dropped? Let me
see. One according to Wikipedia is the
one where the basketball court is on fire or some shit like that.
Yeah, I think it's the off season. Yeah,
that is a fire album. Don't get me wrong. And I remember that's the one time on the podcast where I did a reaction episode to the intro on that album. And I listened to the whole thing, and I remember talking to my homie. He hung up in my ear. I'm not gonna put his name out there, but he hung up in my ear. He called me like, "Yo, I need your opinion, Rome. I know how you are with this music. What's your opinion on Cole shit?" And I said, "It's a good album, but it's not better than Forest Hills Drive." And he hung up. He's like, "Oh man, you're not listening to it the right way. I'm gonna talk to you later." It's not. But he called me a week later. "Yeah, man, I see what you're talking about, man. It's not it's not better than It's not. Forest Hills Drive is a vibe, man. It's a whole vibe from start to finish. Like there's no possible way I could have like made this list entirely without putting Cole on there. Cole's gonna go down. By the way, might be a bold claim, but I know there's people that could that might agree with me on this. But Cole, when it's all said and done, he, as far as like this generation's wave of music, Cole's gonna go down as one of the GOATs. Hands fucking down, man. I feel like he's one of those dudes that, like, when you talk about generational, we're not talking about like the Jay-Z's and the DMX's. They're already cemented in hip hop, and Cole is cemented, but this is a dude that he still got albums left to go. Like he does talk a lot like he's going to retire, but this dude got so much more left in the tank. And I feel like if you're not trying to top Forest Hills Drive, then just don't make it. Just don't make it. If you're not topping Forest Hills Drive, or if you're not doing a collaboration album with Kendrick, I don't even want it. Like this shit is this is where the bar is set for me.
Dude. If that happened,
that's where the bar is set.
The fucking world would fucking implode.
Yeah. It's gonna blow the fuck up. It's going to blow up. It's going to blow up.
Triple Stack agrees with you. Fat Cole is the truth.
Triple, what's good, bro? I didn't even see, like, I missed so many fucking comments on this shit, just rambling, running my mouth.
That's why I'm here. I try to keep up on them.
Triple got bars too. Like Triple, I had Triple. I had to put you out there, bro. Triple got bars, man. He got bars too. Real recognized real. But yeah, that's my number 10 is Forest Hills Drive. I had to show some love on here. It was my number 10 was going to be Silk Shocker, but you know, I knew he was on your list somewhere,
Yeah,
so I didn't want to take
I
that
had
away
to
from you.
put Ghetto Dope on here, you know what I mean? Master P, like, come on, dude.
Is
Like,
that the name of his real album? is that hold up? Is that the before I even type this in?
No, it's actually called The Shocker, believe it or not.
Oh, how fucking original!
The Shocker. Yeah, it's him and his
Stan
ski
Lee.
mask in like mimicking the death row thing, being electrocuted, and he's like holding a black card, and it says The Shocker. I'm like, stupid.
Stan Lee or the late great Wes Craven should have sued the shit out of him for that. They should.
But Master P, Ghetto Dope, that shit was fire though. Let's just be real. That was an album you had to be there at that moment in time to really appreciate it, because Ghetto Dope was pretty fucking dope back. Like when you listen to it, like in 97, 90, 98 years, that is way better than anything Cash Money had to offer. No, you don't think so? Captain Kirk, I want to have your baby.
Master P. Master P has never said a word where I was like, damn, that shit was fire. Like, Master P, man.
Ghetto Dope. Hey, you know what? But that is an entertaining album, though. I don't know if you ever heard Ghetto Dope, like in its entirety, but that is an album that you will like be laughing your ass off, dude. Because that is just, they were just having so much fun when they did that shit. Especially that Captain Kirk song is fucking wild, bro. That shit's wild. So good.
This fucking album looks like every album cover at the time that ever came out.
It's like Photoshop 101, dude.
Yeah, these motherfuckers all had the same Photoshop app to make these album covers, yo. 3-6 Mafia, No Limit, Cash Money, they all had the same fucking album covers. Same lettering, same font. Ew, Master P. He got a song on here called Bourbons and Lax. Fuck.
It is an entertaining album, though. It's better than any of the True albums, I'll tell you that right now. It's probably like the only good album of Dolman.
Master P, man. Shout out to Master P, man. I might not like you as a rapper per se, but you are one of the greatest businessmen that the game has ever seen, sir. And you can play ball.
Yes.
And you can play ball.
And I understand why they cut your verse from the 1, 2, 3 remix. So, because it was whack.
Well, there goes that guest episode. We will not be getting Master P on R&Z Live, ladies and gentlemen, because Johnny just fucked it up. I can't even defend that shit and be like, nah, it was I can't.
Yeah, I can't.
I have contributed to burning that bridge as well. Yeah. Like that's no. That ain't it.
Eric Sermon didn't even drop a verse on that remix, dude. I'm kind of mad about it, but whatever.
Eric Sermon was on there?
No, he did the remix. It says Eric Sermon remix, but the beat sounds the same. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this sounds the same. How is this Eric Sermon? But whatever. Okay, my number 9. Moving on. It is an album that really took the temperature of Los Angeles at the time, and it was released right before the Rodney King trial. And this was a prelude to what was going to happen in April 24th, 1992. Ice Cube's death certificate. And this houses one of, if not the greatest diss songs of all time.
Of all time, yeah, hands down.
Vaseline.
Yep.
Like, you are not going to find a better closer than than anywhere. You're not. Like, that closing song, that song closing the album is a masterpiece. It's perfect. You know what I mean? The reason it's number 9 is because it's so of its time, but a lot of its themes and a lot of its topics of racism and classism still hold true today. A lot of the gang culture, I'm not so sure because I'm not in the streets, you know what I mean? So I can't speak to that. But a lot of the classism and racism, police brutality, all that shit's still prevalent.
Sure.
All that shit still plays. But everything that Q was talking about is like it's a boiling point of what Los Angeles is going through at that point in time. And it's just like, I really wanted to be like a fly on the wall while he was making this album. Because he was so angry making this album. You know what I mean? There was just a lot of emotions going into this album. And it was peaking. And by the way, it closes out with No Vaseline. Like, it just boiled over. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like that he closed it out with that, because it's like, oh, y'all thought y'all was safe? Nah, like I was saving the best for last type of thing. He's got a song on here called "I Want to Kill Sam." Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Uncle Sam. And he's talking about.
Oh, I was.
Yeah, he's.
I was about to. I was about to be like, what did Sam do to him? Shit, he got a whole song on here.
Yeah, he's talking about the "I Want You." Like going joining the army and stuff. He's talking about that, you know, about how, like, all that other bullshit. Black Korea, colorblind, Steady Molly, True to the Game.
I'm looking at Colorblind now. I didn't know he had Dub C's on that track. Coolio, JD's on there.
Yeah,
JD was he was one of the was he a part of West Side Connection? Oh no, you know what? I'm thinking of Trey D. Yeah, I'm thinking of Trey D. I'm thinking of that other guy that pops up on a couple of those West Coast songs. Yeah, it's a lot of tracks on this one too, man. I don't know if I'm just like used to people just dropping like 7-track EPs nowadays, but
yeah, but a lot of the songs are like 2-3 minutes long.
Yeah, he's got one that's 1 minute and 4 seconds long on here too. Yeah, Robin Lynch is 1:14. God damn, man! I didn't put no Ice Cube on my shit either. I should have known. See, your list is already off to an OG start right now. Super OG status right now.
I mean, like, a lot of my hip hop knowledge stops like at 2014. You know what I mean? Like, I stopped listening just from there on. But yeah, I mean, it was really hard to pick between this, but I feel like this is the strongest album of Cube's catalog, in my opinion. I think this is the one that really solidified him, not only as a solo artist, but as a great storyteller and a great lyricist as well. You know what I mean? True to the Game is one of the best hammer disses I ever heard. That's a hammer diss and an easy diss. You know what I mean? That second verse, he's talking about easy. Like, you can't tell me that he's not, because there's a lot of references there that he's talking about. Like, you're talking about easy, bro. I know you are. But yeah, that's my number 9, Death Certificate.
God damn it. I feel like I've disrespected Ice Cube by not including him on this list. You know what? Because you were talking about like being a fly on the wall when he was making his album because he was so angry. Like, this is one of the reasons I feel like I would watch Straight Outta Compton. Didn't really get to. I know it wasn't just about Ice Cube, but Ice Cube has always been one of the most interested members of that group, and just like his artistry in general. Ice Cube needs a fucking biopic. That's really what I'm trying to say here. Ice Cube needs a biopic, and I feel like if his son plays him and Ice Cube directs the shit, show him making this album. Like, don't spend too much time talking about the NWA shit. Was this his first solo album since
No, this was his second one. This was his follow-up after America's Most.
Okay, so this is the second one after he broke up with. I feel like don't spend too much time if they make a biopic about him. Don't spend too much time on the NWA shit. We've seen it. Give it from his perspective, the shit we couldn't see in the movie, and then give us all of this. Like, give us him transitioning into a solo artist, transitioning into his film career, and so on and so forth. Like that, I'm wondering, should I tag Ice Cube now? I feel like I'm going to tag him, and what if he just pops up? I'll probably just freeze and not say nothing. I'll just let you do all the talking, because I'll be fucking scared to death.
And if you do it, you do it. You do it, you do it. I mean, I mean, what's the
I've
worst he can
tagged
do? What's the worst he can do? Block us?
I've
Right?
tagged Ice Cube, and then I'll just send a message to O'Shea Jackson Jr. And I'm just going.
Oh, I
I'm
think
going
he'd
to
be
the
down
next
to
one.
like nerd out with us, bro. That motherfucker's like, he's all into like movies and shit, bro.
Yes, he is, dog. I watch a lot of his interviews, and he seems like a regular guy, a
Yeah.
regular dude. Like he doesn't seem like he let the my dad's Ice Cube shit really phase him.
Yeah,
You know,
he's
like he
into
played his dad in a
wrestling.
biopic.
He likes Star Wars. He reads comics. Like, what the fuck? Like, dude, I want to nerd out with this dude. What's up?
Yeah, yep, exactly. I would love to do it. We'd love to get y'all on the show, man. I
Yeah.
probably had to take like a volume or some shit prior, like just to be like zen and calm my nerves down. But god damn, man, I'm going. I feel like I feel like my picks are going to be a little like I told you. My picks feel like they're in a certain time frame. But my you know, it's funny. I'll use this as a segue because that closer on Ice Cube's album was No Vaseline. So I think my next the next album, my number 9, these guys are very familiar with Vaseline. I'll say that, and I'll say why, because they use it in their lyrics. I'm sure they use it to wrap up a lot of the fucking bricks that they sell in their fucking songs.
Oh, yeah.
Now, while I cannot relate to that side of it, this is an album, man, that introduced me to these guys, and it's been a rap ever since, especially with one of them in particular. But my number 9 is Lord Willing, Clips. Could not do this list without doing.
Someone knew that was going to be on your list. We talked about them, like, I think the past 3 streams. So I was like,
Man,
I wonder. Okay.
absolutely.
All right.
So I like funny thing about the Clips, Lord Willing. Now, this is what I get for bootlegging shit back in 2000s when this came out. So I grabbed a bootleg of Lord Willing because I heard grinding. Got to get this album. I don't give a fuck what else is on it. This is going to set the tone for everything. So I grabbed a bootleg version of Lord Willing, and it was a mixture of Clips features, some old Neptune shit with Khalees, and some unreleased Clip shit. Now they did have a couple songs on there, like Grindin' was on there, Let's Talk About It was on there. I'm Not You, I think Styles and Jada was on I'm Not You. And it was a collection of different things, but then I finally got the Lord Willing album. It's another album, well, maybe with the exception of one. No disrespect to Family, but I'm not really a big Family fan, and he's one of the guys that they let him get a song. Like, it's like a little snippet of a song that they let him get right before When the Last Time. And with the exception of that, there's really no skips on this album for me. The fucking intro, Pharrell jumping off the hook and the chorus for Young Boy, Virginia. I ain't from Virginia, but that shit made me want to go because Virginia, they really made an anthem for where they're from. Grindin' obviously is a classic. When the Last Time was like the ultimate party banger. You had Ego. Ego's not really a really long, complicated song. Ego's on there. Let's Talk About It's on there. Let's Talk About It's cool, but I don't want to burn no bridges here, man. I don't know if you got a Jermaine Dupri album on your list. I don't know if he had any fucking
Yeah, I got
albums.
1479, bro.
Jermaine Dupri,
1479.
Jermaine Dupri raps on. I think he raps in between Pusha and Malice on the song "Let's Talk About It." He's not good. He's not good. And even at the end,
That's
he's
weird,
feeling himself.
JD usually has bars. That's weird.
Even at the end of the verse, he's like, matter of fact, I ain't even got to say no more. Oh, and it's like, you don't. Like, you've said quite enough for the last 16 bars. But, and then you got the Grindr remix that's on there. Let me look this up because I feel like I'm forgetting something. Cot Damn is on there, which I appreciated.
I thought that was on Hell Had No Fury.
What? Cot Damn?
Yeah, goddamn.
Cot Damn was on Lord Willin', and then they remixed it and put it on the Clones album because they added Roscoe P. Coldchain, and Ab Lava changed his whole verse around. He did have a couple bars in there that was the same as the original verse, but Cot Damn I appreciate it because you got these two dudes from Virginia who threw a bone to Ab Lava, who was huge out here at the time. Like, I don't think he was as big as Gilly, but bar wise, I do think Ab Lava might have been like if we're gonna talk about bar for bar as far as who was in the major figures, Ab Lava was one of them guys, man. So to have him, you know, from out here, for them to throw a bone to somebody from Philly was dope as shit. And not to mention the production. Like, Neptunes are still my favorite producers of all time. Like, and the way that the clips, the way they compliment these fucking songs, like, yeah, they sell a lot of fucking crack on their songs, for sure. They always do that shit. But the way, like, no, they do. Like, that's the part where I can't relate. It's just like, god damn. Like, I remember we going back to 5 mics. I don't remember how many mics they got, but I remember the article when they were reviewing Lord Willin in the Source magazine. They said they got bars, but damn, do they sell a lot of cocaine. And when you get past that,
been like up Benzino's alley. That should have been an automatic 5 mics right there, according to Benzino.
And like the way that they like that, I was certified Pusha T fan. It's not that I didn't like Malice, but I feel like Pusha just he rode the beat a lot smoother. Malice used to, I don't know if it was because Malice used to say a lot of shit that went over my head, or if his delivery just wasn't as fluid as Pusha T. But these dudes, they were, I feel like, I'm about to make a bold statement here. I feel like, and while they have like 2 different dynamics as far as what they rap about as a whole, I feel like Camp Lo crawled so Clips could walk. I say that because you got a duo who's rapping about, like, they make hood shit sound majestic. I hadn't heard that shit since Camp Lo. Only difference is I don't remember Camp Lo selling that many drugs in their lyrics. But as far as how they make,
they were committing diamond heists with Lady Scarface.
Yeah, that's what I'm exactly. They make this shit sound majestic on wax, and like Clips gave me that. Like, they gave me that shit, man. And I was just like, these dudes, like, they're gonna be around to stay. Like, it was no doubt in my mind that this was going, like, as far as all their albums go, this was going to be on there regardless. You know, Hell Hath No Fury was cool, but you know how we always talk about with movies and music when people go through that sophomore slump. Hell Hath No Fury is not bad, but as far as that punch, Lord Willin's where it's at. So the Casket drops, I still have not listened to that 3rd album all the way through. Then they didn't do any more Clips albums, and Pusha did the solo shit. But Lord Willin is an epic album. I had that shit on repeat in my CD player. Like, and this was probably one of the first times I was like in school rapping out loud. Like, nobody knew what I was listening to, but I'm rapping the lyrics to some shit and then telling everybody, like, all right, you gotta get this album. You gotta listen to it. And obviously, the Clips were a big deal because I feel like Neptunes dropped Philly's Most Wanted because they found a better duo. I feel like they found a duo that was, I want to say, for the most part, more marketable. But yeah, man, it was, you know, I hate to say it, but they made an executive decision that stuck for me. So Clips, Lord Willin is the number 9. And,
okay.
And JP, what's good, man? I'm so late seeing these comments, man. We're getting tangled up in this music talk, people.
Okay.
But yeah,
I wanna read something. It's hard to analyze which guys are spies. Be advised, people we recognize who have lies. It's all in the eyes. Chico, we read them and see them for what they are. D's and under cars, taking my picture like I'm a fucking star. One of my favorite MCs of all time. R.I.P. Chris Reels, Big Fucking Pun, Capital Punishment. This fucking album,
damn, bro,
changed my life, man. This album changed my life. I fucking love this album. I've never heard a Puerto Rican spit this fucking mean. Like, what the fuck? I remember seeing the video to Still Not a Player featuring Joe. I remember seeing that. I was thinking, this is pretty cool. This dude is fucking, this is dope. Like he's a big fucking dude. When you see him and he's rapping the way he's rapping, like it doesn't match, doesn't fit.
Yep.
But he's able to like,
Flow is insane. Yeah.
I know spitting fast isn't fucking hard, but like, I mean, like, I know it's not as impressive, but to me it was because he was so big, and to him to have that kind of cardiovascular and that kind of breath control, as big as he was, is impressive.
Yeah.
Like, it's impressive. Yeah. But not only that,
and this was pre-Twista and all of that. So yeah, fuck yeah, it was impressive because we weren't getting too much of that from guys like that at the time. You know, this was before everybody and their mom want to rap fast. Now all these motherfuckers do it,
but
and
also,
they're not always good at it.
You dissect his bars. There's like, it's not all pizzazz. There's substance in those bars. There's punchlines. There's metaphors. There's references. There's fucking crazy. Like, this is so hard. We read them and see it for what they are. These are undercover cars taking my picture like I'm a fucking star. I remember listening to that, dude, and just having the moment of Donnie Brasco of the like, and just visualizing that punchline, dude, and it blew me fucking away, dude. This is an album that changed my life, and like, I've hold this album up. This is like my standard. Like, when I listen to MC, this is the kind of production, the kind of lyricism, the kind of songs, the kind of features that I want to hear. You know what I mean? Like, this has like a really great blend of mainstream appeal with like some street shit, with some horrorcore shit. Like, there's something for everyone in this album. It's like a fucking buffet. Not to make like a joke out of it, but it was like family style. This was a family style CD, bro. You caught that one late.
Pun intended. Pun intended. All big pun intended. See what we did there, people? Just for y'all.
I know Pun would appreciate that joke. I know Pun would.
He would.
But then,
he would.
But then
What's crazy is I had this on cassette. And I never really gave it the love it deserved. I remember because I'm looking at the album cover now, and I did have this on cassette, and it kind of just sat there. I think my sister might have listened to this more than I did.
Oh, dude, this is a fire fucking album. There's not a single skip on here. The skits on here are hilarious. The pack in the back in the back of the act.
Back in the back of the back of the
Pack in the back in the back of the hat.
I do remember that.
That shit was fucking
Wait,
hilarious.
the deep cover shit wasn't on here, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Was it? Whew. God damn. That shit.
Oh my god. Fuck.
Yeah, that one part alone is grounds for people to listen to the entire song. I don't give a fuck about how else they feel about the song and the rest of it. That part right there was bananas. Apples and bananas, that part. That in the middle of little did we know that we little too little bit who didn't do that. What? I was like, ooh, God. Oh man, I said, oh no, just stop it. Yeah, just stop.
The way Pun and Joe tag team that beat, bro, Dre and Snoop couldn't do it any better. Like, I feel like this version is better. This version is better than Dre's, honestly. I think this is a better fucking version, honestly.
Ooh, oh my god, Bold Claim, I love it. Bold Claim, I love it.
Claim, that's a fact, you know? Like,
I love it.
Put this one up against Deep Cover, this one is the better song.
Because I feel like they're going harder with this one. Yeah. Like, and yeah, nothing against Dre. Yeah, they are trying to destroy this beat. And I feel like when you tag team some shit, that's really what you're supposed to set out to do. It's like, listen, I don't know about you, but I'm going hard as fuck on this John. But collectively, we gotta leave no crumbs with this shit.
I mean, it shouldn't be too hard because Pun wrote Joe's part, so like it shouldn't be too fucking hard. You know what I mean? Like, this is all just one big Pun verse.
Again, you could see that when Big Pun died. You remember how you were just talking about how when Game left 50, or when 50 left Game, whatever, content changed. changed up a little bit.
Yeah.
Same thing with Fat Joe. It's
Here,
like, all right, you gotta be a big boy and write your own rhymes.
listen to Don Cartagena. Don Cartagena, Fat Joe has never sounded like that before or after, because Pun and Armageddon were the two big pens on that fucking album.
I remember the dude from Terror Squad, right? The other rapper from Terror Squad. I remember Armageddon. Yep, I remember him. They had a little camp going on, man. They had the R&B shit going. I remember with Tony Sunshine, Cuban Link was rapping with them at the time. They did Cuban Link dirty. They did that, man. And Fat Joe rapped about it. He almost indicted himself on fucking I'm So Hood, where he said, "Gave that pussy a scar and told him good looking." Like that's mafia shit. They carved the fucking TS in his face. Jesus, man. Y'all gotta go after that. Y'all can't. Y'all have to leave the country or just not be alive after that.
Yeah,
like
he even blocked that because, again, not to go back to the Matt Hoffa shit, but Matt Hoffa tried to fucking get Cuban Links on the show. Fat Joe blocked it.
That ain't going down. Nice try. Cuban Link don't want to talk to nobody.
No, he
that
wants
motherfucker don't want to.
Fat Joe just won't let him. Yeah, he wants to talk, but Fat Joe won't let him. Again, it goes back to like being blackballed.
God damn. Poor Cuban Link, man. I mean, I did like his song "Still Telling Lies."
Yeah,
I guess.
The thing is, with Cuban Links for me is like Daz. He's only good when he's featured. When he's on his own,
Dillinger,
he's not that great because a lot of the weaknesses start to show. He can't carry a song on his own. But when
you hear that, people?
You
hear that, people? Ooh, I know some people that need to hear what you just said, bro, but I ain't saying no names. I am not saying no names. Did y'all hear what Zuko just said? A lot of you motherfuckers cannot carry a song by yourself. You need a feature, or you need to feature. A lot of y'all ain't built for this shit, man. Y'all not. Y'all are not. I wish we was taking these types of liberties tonight, but I ain't gonna do it. I will not. We'll save that shit for another time. We'll save that for, like, if we ever do, like, I want to do because we're doing this list, and we've been talking hip-hop for the last 2 episodes. I mean, we crowbarred in there, like, every episode almost. But, like, Philly artists, whether it's mainstream or underground,
yeah.
That's gonna be an episode, man. That's where I'm burning. I'm soaking the bridge with fucking kerosene when we do that episode, man.
What's the bridge out there? What's the bridge called out there?
The Ben Franklin Bridge.
Yeah, the Ben Franklin Bridge. Yes. Technique.
Yeah,
Technique had did a song called Ben Franklin Bridge or something like that. Technizzle.
I mean, there's the, more so around my way. I live more so near, like, this. It's called the Tacony Bridge, but whatever bridge it is, I'm summoning the fucking Cloverfield creature to destroy this shit when we do that episode. I'm gonna set that shit on fire and hootie hoo, like, I'm gonna blow the fucking dragon flute, then call on the Dragon Zord to destroy that shit. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh, all right. Oh yeah.
So that's my number 8, man. Capital Punishment by Big Pun. That's just that. I mean,
I'm probably disappointing everybody. They're like, "Where's the old school shit?"
Nah, I mean, that's good that you have modern stuff on there because it actually puts me up on game, like, on stuff to listen to, to catch up on. So that's good. You get the best of both worlds here, so that's good. So
yeah, that is true. Like, I feel like people gonna complain either way, but if people definitely complain, like, you guys had the same shit on your list. Like, I feel like there's sometimes one that we may have on our list that's the same, but it's different shit entirely, which is good, like you said. My number 8. This is the sophomore album from this artist. And the first album is a good introduction for this guy. But this album, I actually talked about this last episode we did, man. And I said that this was the one that cemented him and it let me know, okay, this is fuck it. My number 8 is Marshall Mathers LP. I'm not even going to do a whole big segue into it and get sidetracked, but Slim Shady LP is cool. It's cool. I have nothing against that album, but the Marshall Mathers LP, there is something dark about this shit, like comedically dark. It's a tone that was set for this album that I don't think, I almost picked Encore. Not gonna hold you, bro. I almost picked Encore, but I feel like it's not as strong as the Marshall Mathers LP. Stand alone on this album is one of the most haunting fucking hip hop songs I've ever heard in my life. Like I've never heard a hip hop song that scared me. Like it scares the shit out of me, and then the video by itself. But that Drug Ballad is another one that by itself, I'm like, okay, I don't condone drug use to the children of tomorrow out there, but Drug Ballad goes, he came in swinging, and I don't know who the girl is on the hook. I never knew who that girl was.
Dina Ray.
Who's she?
Dina Ray.
Gina Ray.
Dina. D-I-N-A.
Oh, Dina Ray.
Yeah. She was a frequent collaborator of Marshall's for the first 3 albums, and she's
so good, man.
It's always been a running joke that she'd always be on the 13th song. That was always like the running joke. I don't know if they had a falling out or whatever happened, but once M had a falling out with the Funk Brace twins, I feel like Dina also went that way.
She branched off with them. Yeah. God damn, because listen, she compliments the shit out of those songs so well, man. Like Drug Ballad would work without her, but it would not feel the same. Like there's something so like she has her little notes that she hits in the background, but the hook it suits her well. The beat, the melody, all that shit. If there is one skip on this album, it's that fucking Ken from Connecticut shit. Like I just can't. Like I'm like, all right, man, this is. I was just so thrown off, man.
I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is happening?
I was so thrown off by that shit.
Can you imagine like bumping that shit in the car and that skit comes on?
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, you gotta like just keep pressing the button. Like, oh, this shit's not working. I gotta turn this shit off real quick. Or you just hit the volume knob and just wait a couple minutes. That shit is fucking insane, man.
Yeah.
I almost forgot The Way I Am was on here. That is, The Way I Am is probably one of Eminem's most. I mean, I'm not famous or anything, but I understand. Like, you want to be left the fuck alone. Like, there's a line where he's like, when I'm eating or feeding my daughter, like, I can't do shit because y'all are just all over me, like, all over the place. And it is one of those. That song was one of the reasons I started to second guess, like, whether I wanted to be in the background or the forefront. Because M is just, he's talking real shit. And again, this album, like, as if he didn't already, like, establish the fact that he says what the fuck he wants and ridicules himself, the Marshall Mathers LP, he goes for broke with this shit where, like, there's nothing, he does what he did in the 8 Mile movies. There's nothing that you could say to him or about him that he hasn't already said about himself. Like, he is his own repellent. And I think the other song, Kill You, like, Kill You is Eminem is.
Oh my god.
He's like, I used to listen to this album and like I'd be alone in my room listening to this album and like look around like, am I supposed to be listening to this shit? Like, he's saying, I've never heard anything like this. I've never heard a guy just exploiting himself and his family. Like, all of this shit that he's talking about is insane. It's fucking crazy. You got Kim was on here. I did not know. I don't know why I thought Criminal was on the Next Friday soundtrack. Criminal's fire. That shit's on there. And I love the little skit in the midst of that where he robs the bank. But Dr. Dre's telling him before he gets out the car, he's like, don't kill nobody this time. And he's like all irritated, but he ends up shooting the bank teller. Yeah, he ends up shooting the bank teller and shit. And then he screams, thank you. And then he gets right back into the verse. I thought for some reason I thought that Murder She Wrote was on this, but that is on the next Friday soundtrack.
Yeah.
Murder She Wrote should have been on this shit.
I think it
But
was a leftover.
huh?
It was a leftover. I think it was a leftover because it's supposed to be. I think Murder She Wrote, Bad Influence, Ghost Stories, and Hell Freezes Over were supposed to be on this album, but they didn't have enough
Murder
room
She
on it.
Wrote. Murder She Wrote should have been on this
And
shit for
if I
sure.
get locked up tonight, and I get locked up tonight,
Yeah,
which
I
ended up
know they
being
had to
on
make
the
an
Funk
executive
Flex,
decision.
which ended up being on the Funk Flex mixtape.
Yeah, Murder She Wrote definitely should have. Like, if I had to, like, cut this album together, I would have put that shit on there. I don't know which one I would have taken out. I probably would have took Kim out of there, just because that's just he gets way too fucking dark on that shit. Yeah, he gets way too dark on that shit, bro. I was
There's
like,
a
oh
clean
my god.
with there's a different version of that CD where it's not Kim, it's Kids. And he raps as Mr. Mackey from South Park. And he's talking about kids, telling the kids to not do drugs. It is fucking crazy. That song's not any better, but that song's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I would have taken the Kim track off there and put on Murder She Wrote. Like, just the way he starts that shit off, left the keys in the van with a gat in each hand, went out in Eastland and shot a policeman. Like, that's another thing about M. This gave me a chance to really, like, to understand that M could flow like nobody else. It's like Busta Rhymes said. Busta Rhymes called it a pocket. He said M is like the only person he knows that can get in that, like, that lyrical pocket and just keep flowing with that shit and never lose steam. Mm-hmm. And it's one of the reasons. This is when M established himself for me, man. And I really, really, really wanted to pick Encore because out of, like, between this and his other stuff, Encore is the one. It's the only other one that stands out like that. Like, Relapse is okay. Recovery's all right. Kamikaze was cool, but I really only listened to Kamikaze just to hear him diss. I think that was the one he dissed MGK on.
The Eminem show for me is one that I actually
forgot about that
higher regard because I feel like
which one was hold up, I forgot what was on
that's
the Eminem
the one
show.
With Without Me. That's the one with Drips. That's the one with Say What You Say. That's the one with Till I Collapse.
Oof.
Cleaning Out the Closet.
Till I Collapse. God damn.
Say Goodbye to Hollywood. Dream On. Yeah, I think I hold that one up in higher regard because I feel that one is a much more mature M and a much more better M because you hear the growth in M. People say that M doesn't have context or has any content, but they fail to realize that he's talking about a lot of about the Bush administration, about 9/11, the anthrax, about the draft, stuff like that. Like he was getting
pretty political.
Shit. Yeah, like
this was the album that people would like today. If that album would have come out today, people would have called it woke. If that album dropped today, that's exactly the type of album this was. Now that you mentioned that. Like,
White America, oh my god, like, White America is so fucking great, and I was like, he's right because he's not wrong. You know what I mean? Like he's true. Like my skin is starting to work to my benefit now. Like, yeah.
This is Eminem's 444. I'm making another bold claim, but apparently that's what we're doing on this episode of R&Z Live tonight. But this is M's 444, where people will say that this is a woke album. But this shit. Till I Collapse is on here, and fucking Superman with the same girl. We were just talking about Dina Ray.
And you know what you want to know the funny part about that song? Want to know the funny part about that? Is that originally it was supposed to be Mariah Carey.
Were they dating at the time?
Yes. He wrote that song for her or about her. That's why if you listen to oh my god, that diss song that he did, where like he used the studio sessions where she's saying like Mary Poppins, that's where it's from. It's supposed to be from that Superman session. But she got too drunk and couldn't do it.
Listen, we gonna cut Mariah Carey a break on R&Z Live, man. I think Mariah Carey.
I mean, like she needs all the breaks she can get.
Wait, is Nick Cannon on your list of top albums of all
Oh yeah,
time?
dude, Gigolo, Gigolo, yeah, dude,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, of course,
Nick
dude,
Cannon
top five.
Nick Cannon's my number
Yeah,
one on this list.
yeah, he's top five, dog. You know what I mean? Like, come on, you can't have like hip hop list and now bring up Nick Cannon. Come on, what's wrong with you?
Funny thing, I remember this is the one time where I really had to, like, going back on this episode is probably very cringe. I remember dropping something where I woke up the day after my birthday a couple years back, hungover like shit, and went on a rant because Nick Cannon dissed Eminem. He dissed Eminem, and I was just like, for real? Like, why? Why would you do that? I don't even think Eminem responded, and I don't really think he needs to.
Actually, on Recovery, there's a couple of songs that he's responded to, like Superstar. That second verse is to Nick Cannon.
Yeah, some things just, you're just knocking on death's door at this point.
I actually like Recovery.
Yeah.
I don't think Recovery is a bad album. I think that one gets a lot of. I think that one also gets a lot of hate, unfairly, honestly.
Yeah, because people didn't want sober Eminem. Like, he's still Eminem. He's just very clear minded making his music. It wasn't a bad album. It's just it didn't have like the punch. I guess it was the punch that I was like thinking about.
Seduction is the song I was talking about. Because that second verse is to Nick Cannon.
Jesus. So he did respond.
Well, yeah, but this is all like much later though. This was much earlier though, so.
Yeah, but that is my number 8. I had to put M on there, but had to.
Okay,
It was I had to make an executive decision.
I am making a trip over to Philly, and I'm putting one of the greatest hip hop groups on the list, and it's The Roots with Philadelphia Half-Life. I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh, I'm a big Roots fan and all that, but this is the album, man. This is the first album that I heard from The Roots, and this is one of my favorite albums. And I think this is a classic album because this is Roots at its peak. Like Rozelle, Malik, like they had all core group members that are not in the movement and going forward. You know what I mean? And I think the Philadelphia Half-Life really does display the camaraderie between this group. You know what I mean? Black Thought and Malik sharing the vocals with Common and Mos Def jumping in on songs, Q-Tip on a Q-Tip. Concerto Desperado was a fucking fire song, dude. Episodes, no, just don't stop. No
What
Alibi.
They Do Is Weird?
Oh my god, dude. No Alibi was a fucking fire song, dude. I love No Alibi.
Gamer Harold said, "Don't end the stream until 3 a.m." God damn, yo, Gamer Harold is really campaigning for this 24-hour stream, bro. This shit is serious. Yo, we love that y'all love us, man. We appreciate it. Illidale Half-Life, though. I'm looking at these.
This section right here is like this section right here is like makes me want to like pick up the pen again. It's like, dig it, look into the mirror and tell me what you see. Lieutenant University of Philosophy. When you're not possibly escaping what I'm meditating, shackle my thought, tackle you while I'm educating. You don't resonate and inhaling from darkness. There are sparks of smart shit for what you're waiting. Saluting at me at the top of the pile in a wild Delaware Valley, Pennsylvania subterranean style. Step up to my crevice and test the medicine like champagne king, like Evelyn, leaving your levels in sabotage. It's like, god damn, boy, Thought fucking went the fuck in on that second verse, dude. And it's just like, oh, just like
I just thought of something. You know how we don't have like an intro, like theme song? What if we did our own fucking theme song? I listen, when you just said there was like a little guy in red on my shoulders when you were like, this shit like makes you want to like pick the pen up again. I have tried like within the last year, but I was like, I haven't been like motivated to do it in so fucking long. But we could do our own theme song. I'm just putting it
Yeah,
out there.
yeah.
I'm just putting it
I
out there.
have I have a beat that's our theme. Technically, I just haven't really posted it because I'm trying to find like a really cool graphic to sync it to. I really want to
Yeah.
do the TV wave color bars
Mhm.
and then have that transition into the beat and then comes into like a kind of like the universal or like like a radio tower that says R&Z on it, like pirate
Listen,
radio. So
I
I'm trying to find someone to actually draw that up for me.
yes, people, we need graphic designers and shit like that. So if you guys do like artwork, graphic design, things of that nature, please give us a shout us a little holler. All right,
Yeah,
because
please.
we need logos and shit. I just tried to
I
sketch my own fucking
I
logo out
have
a
I
couple
have a
weeks ago, or
I I was going through some of our old episodes because I was cutting up clips and I found
mm.
that look that you do. Yeah, and I was thinking, you know what? We should put that on a fucking shirt.
I'm wondering what the fuck the caption would say though. It's like
It
because that's like
just be it
I
just be a,
do
it just be your that look on a shirt.
because man like because that's the look like yo I already know it's about to be some bullshit.
Yeah.
I already know that I make that look at least 3 times a day, yo. Hands fucking down. Oh my god, that's another thing we need. We need merch. We need RNZ live merch. So people, if y'all make shirts and you want to make us some jean jumpers that y'all want us to wear for the anniversary episode,
Yeah, it's
make us some
coming up after
sombreros
late
and shit.
September.
Yeah, what is it? September what? So I can mark the shit down.
Well, it'd be September, I think, 9th, but that
Uh,
falls on like a Friday, I believe.
I mean,
I'll look it up.
even if we
Hold
don't
on.
get to do anything that Friday, we could still plan something out for the 1 year.
Yeah. But yeah, the Roots, Illidale, Half-Life. This was just one of those albums, man, that I was just blown away by. I think this is one of the best. This is one of the best Roots albums I can say. But I know a lot of people say Movement's better, Watch Your Work might be better, stuff like that. So I don't know, man. I'm not very versatile on the Roots, but this is an album that when I heard at this point in time in my life, because I heard it close to about 2002, 2003, and it still holds up. It still holds up. Even in 2023, this album still holds up. It feels classic.
Ooh, I did not see that on this album. They have Bahamadia on here, who's also from Philly. I don't
Yeah,
know.
she Push Up Your Lighters, I think.
Yeah, I forgot. And you know what? I had no idea how big of a deal she was, but I saw her once. She is when I lived in South Philly. I lived on this little block, Mole Street, on this little block, and my friend that lived up the street, I think Bahamadia was his cousin or some shit. But I remember seeing her like early one morning, about to get into a cab or some shit, and I recognized her. I think she had like the fro and everything at the time. But yeah, shout out to the crib. See now, okay, that's good. You got a Philly album on here. I've got a Philly album on here too. It's not my number 7, but we both got it's good shit.
Yeah, Illidale Half-Life, man, it's yeah.
God damn.
I love that album. I think that album is fucking great.
Piece of Light was not on this album, was it? By the Roots?
No,
Okay, because that's I thought that was on there. That's my shit. Let's see here. Damn, we going from about to go from Philly to Gamer Harold said, yes, merch. Yes, we need some merch. We need I don't know, just merch in general. maybe some socks that say R&Z Live on them, maybe some
Oh,
sneakers.
actually, we missed our 1 year anniversary.
No shit.
Yeah, it was July
When was it?
29th. July 29th.
God damn. I could have sworn, was it really?
It says July 29th right here.
God
Because our
damn.
second episode wasn't until August 10th.
Oh shit.
And then
I
August
I,
24th.
I got to keep better
And
track of these
September 7th.
these fucking time periods here, man. Well, we could still have like an unofficial
Yeah.
whatever for R&Z Live. It's our shit, bro. We could do whatever the fuck we want
it's a
with it.
pilot episode, so we can actually we could do a anniversary to the watch along.
What was that? Was that Resurrection?
Yeah, it was Resurrection in October.
Oof. We survived. We did survive. That was probably one of the hardest episodes we've done next to the Children of the Corn ranking, I say.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, it was all bad. It was all bad.
Okay, so that's my number 7, The Roots, Philadelphia Half-Life.
Well, I hate to take us away from Philly right now, people, but I have to, and we've got to go down to Miami. And no, this is not the Will Smith song, but and I promise y'all, it's not everybody's favorite Miami rapper. It's not Trick Daddy. Everybody's favorite Miami lyricist out there, but it's
about everyone's favorite CO.
I am talking about everybody's favorite CO. That was a good call. That was definitely a good call. Now listen, people, all right, and anybody that knows me personally, closely, they will understand, like anybody that was around when this album came out, y'all get it, and we were all there when Trilla came out. My number 7 is Trilla Rick Ross. Now, a lot of people might be like, he's a CO and he can't rap this, that, and other. Trilla, now, it was going to be between this and I think it was Deeper Than Rap was the other album I liked.
Deeper Than Rap was really good. I like Deeper Than Rap. I thought Deeper Than Rap was good.
Woo. Yeah, it was again an executive decision, but Trilla, I bought this album, the real album. My older sister stole it. She borrowed it and never gave it back, which technically is stealing, in my opinion. But I bought this album, like paid money for this. I said, I'm not bootlegging this. I want the full experience. I want to hear all the sounds and everything, because I think what is it? The Boss was a single, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. That shit kind of wore thin after a while, even though T-Pain was a big deal at the time. But once the singles wear thin, I want to know what the rest of the album sounds like. And again, this is another one of them albums that damn near have no skips for me. First of all, Ross, I'm about to say something here, man, and I don't want people to confuse what I'm about to say, because it's going to be a bold statement. Motherfuckers might go running for the hills and be like, how could you make a comparison? It's not so much a comparison, but up until Ross, I have not, with the exception of people you mentioned like Big Pun, I have not heard a big motherfucker rap like this since Biggie. And I'm making this comparison. I'm not saying, obviously, Rick Ross is nowhere near as lyrical as Notorious B.I.G. people. I'm not saying that.
But on that Big Boy Fly shit, though. Like on that
exactly,
yeah.
bro.
No, I see where you're going with that.
Exactly. Thank you. Because I was so worried about me making this comparison for people taking it out of context. Since Biggie up until Ross, there was nobody that really talked that fly shit. Like, you can talk that street shit, you can talk the money shit, you can talk about the girls, you can talk about the glam, the glitz, the Coogee sweaters, all of that. He embraced that shit. Now, I wasn't really a big Port of Miami fan. I didn't really like care for that album and Push It to the Limit and all that. That's cool. This shit, you talk about people going through a sophomore slump. He did not with this album. I think this was the second album and Port of Miami was the first. this is one of those times where, okay, you outdid yourself. You know, as far as the first, your first go round goes, speeding. He fucked up that song by having R. Kelly on there. Like,
Yeah.
there's nobody, ain't nobody out there that don't know what R. Kelly did. I'm tired of all the interviews where they're like, well, when we did the song, I wasn't aware of the allegations. My grandmother was aware of the allegations. God rest her soul. You know, like everybody knew about what was going on with R. Kelly, and you fucked up a song with a good hook, fire ass beat. Not to mention, Rick Ross has got like Justice League. They don't
Justice League,
miss.
bro.
They don't miss. When they come up with these beats for Ross, they don't miss. So you got the bars and you got the production. Like that's
Damn.
two hitter quitter right there. I'm not gonna lie. Money Make Me Come is kind of a skip. It's more so like a song for the girls. Like girls love it and shit like that. It's okay. This is the Life on there with Trey Songz. This Me is cool. Here I Am is it's a little overwhelming because they've got that guy Avery Storm, I think his name is, singing the hook. I got a bunch of dollars, I can spend them on her. Rich on Cocaine. No, that was
on Deep in the Rap.
That was on Deep. Oh my god, that song alone was why I was like, okay, it's either gonna be Deeper Than Rap or Triller. Rich on Cocaine, Valley of Death.
That was the song that turned me over on hip hop. I was like, oh shit, this is a fucking fire song. And then I listened to that album because I had downloaded it for my buddy. And
Man.
I was coming home from work one night on the bus, and I just popped the album in, and I just let it play through. It's like an hour like drive, and like that whole hour, they're like, I did not even look at my iPod. I didn't even look. I just let it play. I was like, God damn! And before I knew it, I was already home. I was like, shit! I listened to the whole album, and there was not one single skip on that album.
Yeah, man. Deeper Than Rap. I want to say Valley of Death is on Deeper Than Rap too, isn't it? Valley of Oh my god, yeah, Deeper Than Rap. The Boss's Girl with Neo. Yeah, it was a tough pick. Trilla though, Maybach Music. Can't forget about Maybach Music. Hov, like Ross, don't get me wrong. Ross killed Maybach Music, but Hov, like, he is coming for you and everybody you love on that song. As soon as Hov comes on that shit, he completely steals that song. You got Luxury Tax on there where Lil Wayne sets the shit off. Lil Wayne sets it off before the beat even drops. Trick Daddy, I can tolerate Trick Daddy on there, but you know, Miami had to show love to Miami, so I can respect that. That Rick Ross put Trick Daddy on there. Reppin' My City is okay. I'm Only Human. I do not feel like that was the strongest way to cap the album off, but you know, he wanted to put something on there, I guess, to let people know. It's like,
you know that you are a big fucking deal when you can get Jay-Z on 3 consecutive albums as a fucking feature.
Oh yeah, he had him on Maybach Music. He had him on Freemason on the next album, I think. And wait, what was the other feature?
So it'd be God Forgives, I Don't, Mastermind, and then let's see if he's on Teflon Don. Yes, he's on Teflon Don. He's not on Deeper Than Rap.
Oh, Teflon Don. That's right. Teflon Don is the one with Maybach Music 3, or is that Aston Martin Music with Teflon Don? That album, I think Aston Martin Music was on that one. I don't know.
Yeah,
I could just look this shit up.
Yeah, it's on one.
Teflon Don was alright. It just felt kind of brief. Like, it felt very brief.
Yeah, I mean,
Tears of
Maybach Music
Joy
has T.I., Jadakiss, and Erykah Badu. That's weird.
Jesus Christ, that is one of the best beats I have ever heard in my life. Maybach Music 3. That shit is so. I want to go in orbit. When I used to, around the time when Teflon Don came out, I was smoking a lot of fucking bud, and Maybach Music 3 was definitely, it was definitely one of those songs where I was like, I don't even need the words anymore. I just want the beat. Like, I want this beat to tell me a story while I space out and forget where I'm at. I forgot Live Fast and Die Young was on Teflon Don too. Back when
Oh shit!
Kanye. Yeah,
On Hood Billionaire, he did a song with Big Crit. I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to go listen to that. And Big
what's
Crit
that
did the beat.
mixtape
So
he did?
Hood Billionaire.
Yeah,
Oh man, with Big Crit. Oh dude, yeah, I love Big Crit.
Big
I need to
Big
listen to that
Crit,
shit.
man. Big Crit, somebody that almost made my top underrated MCs list when we did that episode. I really wanted to show Big Crit love, but I couldn't front. Like I listened to enough of him to really put him on that list. But I like Crit. I like him a lot.
Not
I feel like he doesn't really get.
Olympus.
He
Have you
does
heard
not
that
really
one?
get the credit he deserves.
No, he doesn't. He really doesn't. I think because I was talking to my friend Rudy about this, and he said that I think I posed the question like, do you like Kendrick or you like Crit better? Like, which one's like the better artist? And he said, I like Kendrick because Kendrick's a little bit more versatile. Crit is more like one dimensional. He's like one. He's not to say like he's one dimensional, but like you know what to expect when
I
you're
know.
getting a big
Yeah.
Crit.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's like I totally understand that point of view because when you listen to like a Big Crit mixtape, it is the same because he handles all his beats. So all his beats have that southern sound, which like
Yeah.
you're gonna have that southern sound, but it's gonna be his southern sound, not other southern producers producing it. You know what I mean? You don't have Juicy J producing his shit or 8 Ball producing his shit or Michael Watts or well, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not too familiar with a whole lot of like southern producers, but yeah, like he produces his shit. But I
Yeah.
understand why because you want to get that money. That's why you do it. Get
Crit,
that
man.
publishing shit, dog. So, but yeah, that's.
Yeah, that was my number 7. My number 7 was Trilla Rose
Ross.
Bouse. Bause. That's how he spelled Bouse. I think. I think that's how he spells it. I don't know. I see somebody online do it. Bouse.
Okay. Let me tell you a story. I'm gonna tell you a story. You see, I made up my mind when I was 17. I ain't with no marriage and a wedding ring. I'll be a player for life. So where's my wife? Probably at the rehab, stuck on the pipe, cause she must be smoking, and I'm not joking. Too short, baby, coming straight from Oakland. Get
Oh
in where you
Lord.
get in. Just,
You love you some Too Short, bro.
yeah,
You love you some Too Short.
yeah. Like I
So wait, what we on number
you
6?
don't get
Too Short's number 6?
Too Short, Getting Where You Fit In is number 6. And I think this is probably his best album out of his discography. You can argue Getting It's probably just as good, but Getting Where You Fit In just hits fucking different. It's just that opening intro and backed up with I'm a Player, like, whoo, goddamn. Yeah. Like, when that song comes on in the car, dude, we're all singing that shit. We're all singing that song.
He said we're all singing that
Like,
shit.
I
Is
remember
this a
we were coming
tombstone
home.
he's in front of?
No, that's Oakland. Oh, the one you're looking at in the tombstone, that's Life's Too Short.
Oh shit. They gave me the wrong fucking. I was
It's
about to say, what the
it's a
hell?
purple skyline with the Oakland skyline in the back of him. He's on the bridge. He's on the porch.
Oh, I got it. I got it. Looking
Yeah,
pimped out.
I like this album. This album is a really good album. I think this one actually shows a lot of growth and a lot of, even though he sounds the same, like Too Short never stops rapping. And he has like one of the best songs on here called Blowjob Betty, where he bust a nut and killed the bitch.
This man has destroyed Betty's all over the world.
Yeah. I remember listening to that song for the very first time and just bursted up laughing, man. I almost died. And I listened to this album recently again, and like I still had that same reaction. It's like, oh my god, I was trying not to laugh because I was in a public place. It's like, oh my god, that shit's so funny.
My
Dude.
man said, blowjob Betty. Yo, god damn. So Too Short has always been on this I'm a pimp shit all his life.
Yeah, you've been a player, dude, for ever since Born to Mac. Raw Cut.
Jesus
Man, I
Christ.
got 10 toes sucking on 10 toes. Yeah,
Jesus.
I really, and the reason I put him on here because I don't think he gets the credit and the love and the respect that he deserves as a rapper, as an MC, and what he just did for the Bay Area at that time, just carrying the Bay Area on his back during the 90s when no one was really checking for the Bay Area like that. The only one people were checking for was Too Short. You know, he helped a lot of cats get money. No Too Short, there is no Loonies. You know what I mean? There's no Mac Dre. There's no E40. No Be Legit. Too Short came out and fucking showed like, look, man, the Bay Area is also where it's at. It's not just LA. Bay Area, like you can come to Bay Area and get good hip hop. And Too Short is a good hip hop artist. He's a good storyteller.
I think had there been no E40, I don't think that's quite a big loss, though. I'm sorry,
there we go again.
Just go. All right, that was it.
You know, but I just don't think that people. I don't think people look at his discography and like honestly can say there's a classic. But when you look at his discography, Too Short arguably has like in his original 10 album run, he at least has 3 in there. Life's Too Short, Get In Where You Fit In, and
3 bangers.
Yeah, he has 3 albums that are certified classics, in my opinion. And you can make the argument for either one, and I wouldn't even be mad at it. You know, Shorty the Pimp, Short Dogs in the House. I mean, yeah, but not really, because it's just not there. But when you get into Getting Where You Fit In, it's there. It's like, fuck. Like, I totally see the appeal now.
And this is his, how many albums did he have? Was this wasn't his debut, was it?
This was album number 8.
Damn.
Cocktails was album number 9, and Getting It was album number 10, which was supposed to be his retirement album.
Jesus.
But then a year later, he comes back with I Can't Stay Away, the original Jay-Z. And Too Short's the only Bay Area artist to get respect in New York by doing a song with Biggie. So, there's that. And Jay-Z. And Jay-Z.
Too Short. I think my introduction to Too Short was on, we talked about this on the albums, the top albums episode, or top soundtracks. God damn, we've been doing music episodes for the last 3 episodes?
Yeah, it's mainly because of the strike, so we don't want to piss too many people off.
Yeah.
So we gotta find ways to create content.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it works. Shit, it's working. At least we've been consistent. Yeah. Like I know the people that want to hear us talk about movies. I mean, we always get movies into the mix. Like that's not going nowhere. But we, like you said, versatility. We're talking about versatility with these rappers too. So we gotta be able to talk. As long as we don't start covering like messy ass pop culture shit. Like as long as we're not talking about like fucking Blueface and Krishan Rock got into a fight down at the Hard Rock Cafe for the 17th time this week. Like nah.
Yeah, no. That'd be all bad.
That's what people want us to cover too. You'd be surprised how many people want us to cover that type of bullshit. I can't do it.
Nah,
we mentioned enough idiots as people that make shitty movies and that star in shitty movies, but we're not about to make the other idiots famous in any way.
No,
we're not. So all the Blueface and Scar Lip and all of this shit, like no, people. We are not fucking TMZ. We have integrity out this bitch. Not covering that shit.
Hey, then that'd be a different story.
Be right in fucking Scarlett and Blueface's face with that camera, like running right up on him.
Yup.
We would have to risk getting.
I'll bust into Lindsay Lohan's rehab center and take a picture.
She's doing good though.
I know.
Shout out
about it.
Listen, shout out to Lindsay Lohan. I was actually a fan of that movie, I Know Who Killed Me. Shout out to Lindsay Lohan, man.
Oh my god, too funny. That's funny as fuck. Hey man, those paparazzi are wild as fuck though, man. They do that shit. They do anything for a picture.
Could you imagine them breaking into the facility though? It's like, but imagine they broke into the facility and Lindsay Lohan's been released. We would have to settle for Bam Margera. Like, we would have to just get an interview with him on there instead.
Yeah,
and
we wouldn't
would
get
have
as
to
much.
find
We'd
out
probably get $1
if we're lucky.
if we're lucky.
We're
50 cents.
we're being very generous in these remarks, people.
Yeah. That's a yeah. Never mind. Goosh, over here. All right. But yeah, album number 8, Get In Where You Fit In. If it's not an album that you heard, I would highly recommend you listen to it. If you're not familiar with Too Short, this is definitely an album that this is definitely a album that will help you get acquainted with Too Short and his style and the type of beats that you like. So this is definitely a really nice introduction level for people that haven't heard of Too Short.
And you said this is album number 8 from him?
Album number 8.
God damn.
Been rapping since 1983.
Jesus, man. I'm trying to think of a fucking segue into my next shit. I'm talking about 8 albums since '83. Actually, a good segue into my shit is, we were just talking about TMZ. My number 6. This album comes from a guy who can't stand TMZ. He actually ran up on one of these motherfuckers, and he was very much aware that if he punched this dude in the face, he would have to pay him like $30,000, $25,000 or so, which is chump change to him. But while we're talking about how much this guy hates TMZ, and I know how everybody feels, but I'm strictly talking about this album. I'm talking about from this standpoint, this period of time. I'm not talking about nothing else that's happening right now. My number 6 is College Dropout.
Ooh.
Kanye West.
Ooh.
College Dropout. Now, this was hard because I was like, I was right here with College Dropout and Late Registration and Graduation. I was there.
Be mad at either of those because I think those three are certified classics.
Yep.
Shout out to Draco
Absolutely.
Maine because that was one that he picked. Was it College Dropout?
Really?
Yeah, that was one that he picked.
Shit, yeah. Shout out Draco, man. Shout out to Draco. I put the little disclaimer up because people don't know how to, this is one case where I can separate the art from the artist because I know the mind frame he was in at the time and I know the mind frame he's in now. Like, I can't separate the art from the artist. When people tell me, Victor Salva is a child molester, but I like Jeepers Creepers. All right. I can't support his shit though. Kanye West wasn't touching little boys and shit. So if he's running around with MAGA hats and all that shit, that's his prerogative. It is what it is. While I don't really condone his actions, College Dropout Kanye West, man, this was a guy who took the game by storm because you did have producers that rapped, but it wasn't too mainstream when producers rapped at the time. So for Kanye West to jump on, what was that, the Bounce on the Blueprint 2, jumped on the Bounce, a song he didn't even produce. So I don't know how the feature worked. I don't know if Hov asked him, if he asked Hov.
You didn't see that? You didn't see the Yeezus documentary?
I did not. Is it worth it?
Oh my god, bro! I highly recommend you watch that shit. That shit's so good, bro. It made me cry. It made me fucking cry.
Yeah.
It made me cry. It made me cry because I was like, in 3 different ways. It made me cry because of what had happened to him. It made me cry because he had made it, and then it made me cry to see what he's become. And
yeah, man, it's
hard. And to see someone. But here's a little tidbit though. So when he was recording, I think it was Breathe In, Breathe Out, or he was in a studio session with someone recording a song for College Dropout. He heard Jay-Z was in the same studio. He's like, fuck this. Jay-Z's in the studio, man. I'm gonna go out and go see if I can get on or do something. Because Dame Dash was hating. Dame Dash didn't want him to rap. It's like, nah, you're just gonna produce these beats and you're not gonna rap. And then Kanye leaves the studio session, sneaks out, goes into Jay's studio session with Timbo, and he starts rapping for Jay. And he starts rapping.
Off of the bounce beat?
Off of the bounce, yeah. They're playing it. And he's like, okay. And Kanye didn't even write the verse. He fucking did it off top of his fucking head. And he goes in.
He freestyled that verse on the bounce?
Huh?
He freestyled that verse on the bounce? Kanye, man.
And then he goes, but he came in with a fucking hard verse, and Jay's like, that's hard, bro. Get in the booth to spit that shit. And then when he was done, Jay leaves like, that was a banger. That was a hit. Fuck yeah, that was dope.
That's one of the best songs on that album.
And like 3 months later, he was signed to Rockefeller as an artist because of Jay.
It makes sense. Like Kanye, man, when this dude Kanye had me motivated. Like I wasn't even that type of like rapper, quote unquote, but Kanye had me motivated. Like, okay, you can really you can talk that shit, but you can be as you are on wax and it'd be perfectly fine. Like Kanye, he got
the door for Lupe.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
And not only that, like he had bars. He had bars, and you would normally think, all right, if you do one, you can't do the other, but you are producing banger after banger. It's another one of them Jones where it's like it's no skips on there. First of all, I gotta single this song out. When I bought College Dropout, it's a lot of tracks on there. I did not expect it to be so many tracks, but I rocked out with it. But when you get to Last Call, like I remember looking at the track list and I'm like, this shit's like 12 minutes and some change. Last Call is probably the only Kanye West song that's ever made it into like my playlist from that album, because it's not even just the song. Like the beat is fucking is bananas. I almost called that shit demonic, but it's really not. And his bars is crazy. He caps it off with a crazy bar, and then after that, for like the next 9 minutes or so, or however long he's going off, he's talking about when he moved out of this apartment with his mom, and he's telling a story as the beat's going along, and the beat's dropping. You still got the dude singing, singing the chorus in the background and all that type of shit. But he's telling this story. I used to like listen to that shit on the train, walking around, because I'm like, not only is the song a banger, but this fucking story he's telling at the end of the song is so fascinating. And then he's talking, like he ends it with him saying something like, I'm gonna just see what's up with Rockefeller, and then it echoes out, and then the song kind of keeps going after that. Before, like, you talk about closing out an album, that is the perfect exit.
Wow.
Yeah, that is the perfect.
I didn't know Evidence co-produced this.
What, the whole album, or that one song, Last Call?
Last Call. Evidence co-produced it along with.
I did not know that either. I did not know that.
I was just looking it up. Oh.
Last Call, man. That is and then I almost forgot about two words: Freeway and Most Def. Like, come on, man.
Big man.
Come on, man.
Crash that. Oh god, dude. I remember seeing that. I remember seeing it on the Chappelle Show. Actually,
Chappelle Show. Yeah, they performed that shit on the Chappelle Show.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Like,
that shit's a banger.
I don't know where they were. I think they were on a dock or somewhere, but I don't remember seeing them just performing that shit. Like, dude, this song's fucking hitting. Like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm. Now, if I do have a complaint about College Dropout, why you do my man Luda like that on Breathe In, Breathe Out? Yeah. Like, you only put him on a hook,
and it wasn't even the hook. And Luda didn't even write the hook. It was Kanye's hook.
Oh, it was just such a laid back feature, and I'm a Luda fan. I'm like, how would you just put him on the hook? That shit would have been a banger.
Fucking destroyed that. I think Kanye knew that too. And originally, on Family Business, Scarface was actually supposed to be on that album.
Was he?
Song. Yeah. There's
I
actually
can see that.
footage in the
I
Easy
can see that.
documentary of Scarface. Actually, no, he was actually supposed to be on Jesus Walks. Yeah,
Scarface?
yeah. He was supposed to be on Jesus Walks. And then, like, he showed him this song, Family Business, and, oh, I like this song better. Let's do this one. But Scarface never got back to him. It sucks. Because I would really
Shiz.
love to hear Scarface on this.
Then I forgot Selena Johnson was on the hook of All Falls Down. Spaceship felt like more of an interlude and like less of a song, but I like Spaceship. Jesus Walks was a heavy ass song at the time. Never Let Me Down. I'm not gonna lie, that song used to get me in my feelings a little bit because of the beat and like just the shit that I feel like Hove. I don't quote me on this, but I feel like Hove recycled that verse on "Never Let Me Down." I feel like he spit that on. It was back when the old Hot 97 albums used to come out, and I don't know if they had these official or unofficial songs on there. I feel like Jay-Z had a remix of a
Oh, yeah.
song.
No, he did. I
First I
recognize
snatched the streets, then I snatched the charts. First I had their ears, now I had their heart, or whatever it was. I feel like
came and went. I've been here from the start. I've seen them put together and watched them take it apart.
watch him take it apart. Yeah. I feel like he said that verse somewhere else before that song.
He said that in the freestyle, in the Hot 97 freestyle.
Yeah. Yep. I knew he did because I remember when this album dropped, I was like, why does this shit sound so familiar? Yeah, Get 'em High. Talib was on Get 'em High. So then you had Talib and Most feature on the album. It's like, oh, god damn it. And it was so, like,
not just
consistent.
Quali, but you have Common on the same song.
Common was on Get 'em High?
Yeah, he was on the second verse. Quali closed off the song.
This was before Common was signed to Good Music, so it was all like just pre-written, man, that everything was going to unfold. It's fucked up. Like, this is why I said I wanted people to understand why I picked Kanye, College Dropout. Like I said, whatever he's doing now don't have shit to do with the mindset and just the lyrical genius that he was hitting for at the time when College Dropout came out. And like I said, bro, it was hard, man, because Late Registration, that's my shit. It just has more skips than this one for me. Not that they're like any of them are trash. And then Graduation. I almost, arguably, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasies up there with those three.
I could see that. Because I know a lot of people hold that one up, hold that up in a high regard.
I was very surprised at how great that album was because he was still on a little bit of his weird shit. He was getting out of a breakup with Amber Rose. Devil in a New Dress is about Amber Rose, I think. But like after that, you know, The Life of Pablo and Yeezus shit, that's kind of when I like fell off of Kanye. Not terrible, but ain't nothing like College Dropout, man. Nothing like that first time, man. That good old first time. I'm sure all the virgins out there can attest to that statement right there.
He was hungry when he did this album.
Hell yeah, exactly.
I really do recommend that you watch that documentary, bro. I really hope you get to watch it at some point.
Is it like do they break it into like sections or is it just straight run through a like 2-3 hours documentary?
No, they break it down into sections. So the first part is him trying to get signed. The second part is after the accident and going and after Dropout and how he gets to his fame. And then the third one is when his mom dies, and that's how you really see him really just devolve. You know what I mean? But it's interesting that the documentary, they frame it in a way that once Donda West died, that's when Kanye really lost his center.
He said it on Put On. He said it on I Put On with Jeezy. He said, I lost the only girl in the world that know me best. That was heavy.
Yeah. So yeah, I do recommend you watch that because it's you can get a lot from it and get really into the inside of what Kanye, who he was and who he is now. So.
Oh, it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I gotta because just talking about Kanye is making me wanna watch that shit. because I think my uncle was telling me to watch it or something like that, and I never gave it a shot because I didn't give it a shot because I was so fucking frustrated with the shit Kanye was doing at the time, man. It is hands down like some of the most heartbreaking shit to watch, like as a hip hop fan and just as a music fan in general, like just to see. Like it is like mentally it seems like a downward spiral. Like yeah, he's still successful and he's still in the tabloids and he still pops up on I was just listening. The Game has a song called Easy, and Kanye made the beat and Kanye raps off of it. Like first of all, Game is trying to sound like J. Cole on there. I don't care what nobody say, that's what he's trying to sound like. I don't know if you heard the song, but this is when Kanye's going through his divorce shit, and he talks about it. He even name drops Pete Davidson. You know, he said, God saved me from the crash just so I could beat Pete Davidson's ass. He doesn't give a shit in this verse. But he comes on talking that shit. He's like, how I ain't bring nothing to the table when I'm the table. What'd he say? How I bring nothing to the table when I'm the table. I'm gonna turn up the music, wake up the neighbors. I'm gonna get that thug life tatted across the navel. This how I am on real life, not just on cable. Then he says, Mr. Narcissist, tell me about my arrogance. Oh my God, what does he say? He says, Mr. Narcissist, tell me about my arrogance. No more something. I don't negotiate with therapists. Like he's going in on this shit. But I was just so fucking frustrated with him that I didn't even really give the documentary a chance. For real. But I could definitely go back and watch it, just being as though I know that he was hungry at the time. I know what type of mindset he was in, type of thing. It's tough to watch this dude now, man. It's tough to watch him. Like, who the fuck's this new girl, this big titty girlfriend he's got now? Where the fuck did she come from?
That's the chick from Uncut Gems. You ever seen Uncut Gems?
Is that her?
Yeah,
the girl with
her.
the
Fox, yeah, that's her.
That's his girlfriend?
Yeah.
You talking about the girl Adam Sandler was fucking with with the crazy? Is that her real ass? That's not her real ass. Is that real? Because there's a scene where Adam Sandler is like hiding in the closet to try to wait and scare her, and she's like putting on this lingerie shit. And I remember me and my uncle watching that shit, and I was like, is that real? Because I don't know. BBLs is a thing nowadays.
Maybe.
I wasn't sure. Yeah, but that's my number 6. Is College Dropout from Yeezus, everybody's Lord and Savior of the Flavior.
Okay, so that is that's number 6. Okay, so I'm gonna stop it right here. So join right back because we're almost pushing the limit. So I'm gonna end it here, and I'm gonna come right back. All right?
Yes.